How good is it to have baseball back in 2022? Welcome to Melbourne Ballpark for Game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge. I'm Ed White. Alongside me again is Rob Novotny. And Rob, pretty good win for the ACES last night, 2-1 over the Adelaide Giants.
Yeah, Kennedy was fantastic on the mound, very efficient over 4 innings as usual. And then the top of the lineup, 6 hits between the first 3 batters in the lineup, so real efficient right there at the top to make the difference for the ACES.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of those was a debutant. Aiden Willis had 2 hits, scored 2 runs. Rob caught up with him just before the game.
Hey, Aiden, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. You had a really nice game last night. You scored both runs in the ball game for the team. And a big part of that, what you got in your 2 hits, is you were really patient at the plate. Tell me about your approach, and like in your first at bat, you got up 2-0 before you drove, and that set you in position to drive that hard single up the middle.
Yeah, I just try and look for my pitch and be patient at the plate, and don't try and chase anything that I can't handle. And when I see that pitch, I just make sure I put a good swing on it.
Yeah.
The rest sort of sorts itself out.
Is that your game day to day when you play locally at the Barrack Club and such?
Yeah, I lead off at Barrack, so same game plan is just to be patient and wait for that pitch, and
That's cool. So this is your first time suiting up in an ACES uniform to play in a proper game.
Yep. Yeah.
How's it feel? What's it like?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great experience. Being around ex-big leaguers and that sort of thing. It's really good to be around that sort of caliber of baseball, and just learn a lot, and just make the most of my opportunities.
Yeah, you really seem to have you're 21 years old, and you're figuring out what your baseball future is. Obviously, we were just talking before how COVID's changed the world a little bit and slowed down any plans you might have. But you bring a real wisdom and maturity to your game. It doesn't seem like you're playing your game differently here with the ACES than you do with Barrack. What's your secret?
I just try and stay in my lane. I don't have to. It's just another game of baseball at the end of the day, and I just try and keep it simple and do all the fundamentals.
Fantastic. Great job last night. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
The youngsters really getting it done, Rob, and the other youngster we're really looking forward to seeing is Genevieve Beacom.
Yeah, a 17-year-old throwing 84 miles an hour, and a woman potentially making her first debut in professional baseball here in Australia. Get your popcorn, folks. Sit back. This is the one to watch.
Yeah, history in the making. And earlier, the other member of our team, Amy McCann, caught up with Jen. Here's what she had to say.
Genevieve Beacom, you're making history this weekend as the first woman to be selected on an ABL roster with the Melbourne Aces. Can I take you back a few days to when Peter Moylan, when he told you the news?
Yeah, so I finished throwing my bullpen just after training on a Thursday, and he offered me the spot, and I felt amazing. It was just an awesome opportunity to be able to play for my home team, and I was just beyond amazed.
And it's not the first time you've broken a barrier. We saw you at the Cal Ripken World Series, the only female there, and the under-16 state team. Do you see yourself as a trailblazer or just a ball player?
Other people see me as a trailblazer. I guess I don't really know, or I don't see how much effect I have on women's baseball, but if I'm making a difference, that's great. I couldn't ask for more, just to inspire young baseball players, females especially, to play baseball instead of softball if they want to play baseball. That's awesome. I can't ask for anything more.
And the boys and the men in the team, how are they around you? How do they like having you on the team?
Awesome. It's just like any other team I've been on. They treat me the same. There's no real difference. It's great.
And when you finally get out in the bump this weekend, what are you hoping for?
Just to do my best and play well for the team, just what I do every week, just try and play my best and see how it goes.
Awesome, thanks for joining us.
No worries.
Big night at the ballpark. Melbourne Aces, Adelaide Giants, first pitch coming right up. Hello and welcome to Melbourne Ballpark in Melbourne, Victoria. It is Game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge between the Melbourne Aces and the visitors, the Adelaide Giants. Aces got a 2-1 win in Game 1 last night. My name is Ed White. I am joined tonight by Rob Novotny, former employee, if you will, of the Chicago White Sox, the Texas Rangers, also has worked with the Australian women's national team. And Rob, I'm not sure we thought we were going to see as exciting and clean a game as we saw last night.
I think you hit on the key word there. That was a clean game. Very few mistakes, very well played. It looked like they were in mid-season form, and I guess in a sense we are because we're in the middle of the summer, but these are the first ABL games being played, and for such a crisp, good game, we're really lucky for that.
Absolutely right. And you saw in the intro, we will be joined over the broadcast by Amy McCann, former Australian baseball player, and she spoke with Genevieve Beacom before the game, and as we've talked about, I'm not trying to make this an historical or a hysterical story. It's an historical story because she is an exceptional talent. We're hoping to get to see her tonight.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, we got some indication she might throw. We suggest everybody stay tuned to see if that might happen tonight.
Yeah, well, 2-1 was the score of last night's game. ACES remain pretty much unchanged in their lineup, but the Adelaide Giants, Rob, have really made a few changes, haven't they?
Yeah, quite a few changes. We've got Parrington moving from left field into center. Rickson Wingrove's moving from first base over into left field. The DH from last night, Donald Lutz, is over at first base. And we've got a Victorian in the lineup, substituting for Mitch Lightbody. We've got Wade McConnon, who plays at the Upwey Baseball Club. He's a Victorian who's affiliated with the South Australian group, and he's playing tonight, so another Victorian to cheer for.
ACES is going to go with that same lineup they had last night with Jack Barry at first, youngster Sam Skinner at second, Jared Cruz at short, and mainstay Daryl George at third. Outfield, another, all three youngsters, Bronson Neve, Aiden Willis, who you spoke to before the game. He had an exceptional game last night, and Nick Bertucci in right field. Kyle Perkins behind the plate. The interesting one tonight, Nick, and we saw some great pitching last night. A couple of veterans on the mound, a couple of 32-year-olds going at it tonight.
Yeah. As Peter Moylan said before the game, you couldn't find two much better pitchers in Australia right now. Obviously they haven't thrown as much as they would like to through the summer, but in terms of their body of work and what they bring to the game tonight, that's just fantastic. And a real treat for the viewers, I hope, watching at home.
Well, let's start with Stephen Kent. Rob, he played 10 seasons with Canberra, pitched 1 and 2 last season, 6.53 ERA, but he's been in the Braves. He spent 5 years in the Braves organization, but he's a legitimate ABL pitcher, no doubt about it.
And we're looking out at him. He's going to throw a fastball, back that up with a curveball, occasionally throw a change, and watch how he hits his spots tonight. The big key Peter said about him is he's got a big set of kahunas. So that's the kind of guy we want on the mound for the Aces today.
That sounds good. And Tim Atherton on the hill tonight for Adelaide. Last year was his 4th year with Brisbane. He also had a few seasons at Canberra, one with the Sydney Blue Sox, career 27-10 ABL record, 3.78 ERA. That is pretty solid stuff. And he also 5 seasons in the minors. So he's another veteran who we'll get to see tonight.
Yeah, and as Peter mentioned as well, a gutsy player. You're looking at someone who's going to throw a fastball, curveball, changeup, much like his opponent is, but he's also going to have a little bit of a cutter on that fastball too. So that's something different to look for as well.
Now, we saw a couple of things in last night's game, and if you saw it, you know what we're talking about. If you didn't, it was pretty unique. We had the lights go out in the middle of play. They were restored very shortly, but they went out just as Darcy Barry from Adelaide was taking advantage of some aces out of position and actually stealing a base that was later he was forced to go back to second. Hadn't seen that.
And rewind that a little bit, that amazing swim slide. He went almost like a little Javi Baez, like now with the Detroit Tigers, if the season ever starts in MLB. But he slides in, he swam away from the tag, and he avoided. He was safe. Everybody's thrilled with that. But Daryl George had drifted from third almost all the way to second, and nobody's covering third base. And to Darcy's credit, he took off to third. But I think we have to give it to the Aces GM for finding a way to get the lights to go out to get him back to second base.
Justin Huber accused of a tactic. It certainly was not that, but he took care of it. The other strange one was the Daryl George tag-up play, which I was speaking with a couple of people before the game, and they said live they thought he left early.
Yeah.
So we saw in a replay, it looked to us not remotely that he left early, but when you hear people say they saw it happen, you can see why the umpire maybe made that call.
Yeah, but I think you got to be absolutely certain before you make that call, to be honest, Ed, because it's potentially a game-changing type of call. And I'll be honest with you, in my mind, as I saw the tag up, I didn't find the words, but I was clearly delineating in my mind that he left on time live in real time during the play. The replay showed that as well. But I think the reason it might have looked like he left early is because he was getting into motion on the base, getting ready to leave the base, and that motion may have fooled the umpire into making the incorrect call.
Yeah, so a couple of strange plays, but as we mentioned, pretty clean game, a few errors. I think there were a couple of errors, but only one walk. one hit by pitch. But other than that, very, very clean game. And I must say, when we came in, we weren't sure with all these sort of fill-in players, these youngsters called up. But by and large, it was a very quick, very well-played game, and we're sort of hoping for the same thing tonight.
Yeah. And I'll get back to Aiden Willis. We saw at the top of the broadcast in the interview. The poise on that young man, is he just in the conversation and the way he's approaching the game, just a real zen calm to that 21-year-old, and I was quite impressed. And that excites you about the next generation, some of the kids that are coming through and getting the opportunities in games like these. That's why they're so important. And I might as well say it, thanks to the Melbourne government, the Victorian government, for the ACES, for and Adelaide for traveling out to make something like this happen. Because the easy thing would be say, nah, let's leave it. But all parties involved said this is important for Melbourne, it's important for Victoria, it's important for baseball, and they made it happen. So hats off.
Absolutely right. It was a great crowd here last night, at least 800 people through the gate. I heard the pre-sales were strong for this one tonight, so potentially a similar crowd tonight. And I got to say, Rob, last night we came out here, the weather was terrible, big thunderstorm, field was wet, weren't sure if we could have a game. People kept rolling in. Fans kept rolling in. They sat around. The game was delayed. It ended up going an hour and 15 minutes or longer than when it was meant to, hour and a half. But they were still here. They stayed here to the very end. They were loud. They were involved. Just shows you what a great fan base we've got, not just here, but obviously in the entire ABL.
And how hungry we are for baseball, and how much our little tribe of baseball here in Australia, how much we love it.
Yep, absolutely right. So, yeah, I've just been handed a note from our crack staff that said they've actually sold more tickets for tonight. So that's even more impressive. Three-game series. There will be one tomorrow afternoon as well. But it has been quite a treat to be able to see some baseball. We should have the national anthem coming up here very soon as we get ready. Umpires meeting out on the home plate.
Your starting lineup, your Melbourne ACES. There is the designated hitter, Marcus Graham.
Graham, a youngster, DHs again. There is Aiden Willis, who we talked about.
The Barrick product. Oh, watch him hit BP today. God, that boy can swing.
Yeah,
17.
Raw power.
Yeah.
ACES veteran Daryl George. I had a chat with him about leaving early, by the way.
Yeah.
He said, news to me.
Well.
Here's the youngster, Sam Skinner, getting a real opportunity at this level.
And again, nice at bat, nice walk at the end of the game last night. Real quality.
Jack Barry.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid to get dirty. He made that tough catch, by the way, over behind first base in the water.
And we should mention that even though there wasn't much rain today, that outfield is still pretty damp. I was walking around, and it's could be tricky out there still. National anthem coming up. We'll be back with you after this. Let's play ball. ACES, Adelaide Giants, game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge.
And Ed, our umpires tonight, we've got Ian Ravel behind the plate, Jeff Dunn at first base, Neil Poulton at second base, and again at third base, Casey Cook. Thanks to those guys for coming out this series.
I want to keep an eye on Casey Cook and make sure when there's a runner on third, he's not, he's on that. I want to make sure he's on that. ACES.
Hey. None of us are perfect, and yeah, baseball's the game where we baseball's the game where we learn how human we are.
Stephen Kent on the hill. He'll face Jack Partington, Rickson Wingrove, and Mitch Edwards.
Hey, before we get started, I might give a shout out to the Melbourne ACES dance crew. Ange, Tiffany, Lucy, Caitlin, joined by their pal Maverick. They're out here all the time, and they spend a lot of time and deserve a lot of credit for the effort that they put in on behalf of the ball club.
All part of the great entertainment and food and drink opportunities here at Melbourne Ballpark, which I know we talked a little bit about that last time, Rob, but the work that has gone into making this place a great spot to watch a ball game is remarkable.
Yeah, well, that gets back to Mick Wern and, really the amount of hours he volunteers around here. There's a lot of infrastructure investment, but there are a lot of people who invest their time.
Yep.
And
well, you've been around for a while. Amy's been around for a while. I've been around with the ACES for a while. Just to see these changes over the years, pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I'd hate to say I played in this ballpark back in the 90s, and it's a different place.
So here's Jack Partington to face Stephen Kent. Partington 0 for 3 last night with a strikeout. So he'll be looking to get on track here tonight. We are underway.
Adelaide in the blue tonight, Aces in the red.
First pitch from the left-hander, Kent outside corner, strike one.
Ian Raval on the call. And we got baseball again. Fantastic.
Kent, the veteran, gets the signal from Perkins. That's grounded sharply at George, makes the play at third, up, throw to first, one away.
You know what? I was out before the game tonight. Assistant coach Damian Shanahan must have Darryl George 50 balls just like that. No lie. And there he made the play. It was a tough hop. But he was ready because he put the work in today.
Brings up Rickson Wingrove, the big left fielder wearing number 44. He played first base last night, was 1 for 2, and was hit by a pitch. It's a good hitter, good young prospect.
And I'm always looking at the flags in right field when he comes up. Goodness.
And Kent would have pitched to him a few times. That was hit hard down the left field line, but out of play. Strike one. If you joined us last night, you knew it was a pretty rainy start, and then it turned out to be a beautiful night. Today's been a really beautiful day, but I do see a few clouds rolling in. I don't think the rain clouds, but fingers crossed. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Kent. Good pitch.
A nice curveball broke right in there.
Sneaked that in, didn't he? Quick 0-2 count on Rickson Wingrove. Some fans enjoying the game. COVID restrictions still in place here. Check
Gets
swing.
him on strike
Got
three.
him.
You might have noticed there on the monitor we had a bit of a shift on for Lutz. Not necessary in this case.
Brings up Mitch Edwards. Had a bit of a rough night last night. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Had a few issues behind the plate.
But when the runner on third, he made sure to block the pitch. What did we say last night? The best pitch in baseball, strike one.
Indeed it is. Grounded foul.
Looked like he took a little off that. Couldn't tell from up here if that was a breaking ball or not, but definitely different velocity.
Edwards in a hole again already. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Top of the first.
Wonder where he's going to go with this. He's going to go up or away. Probably a fastball. Change his sight line. Going to go away. Ooh, that guy looked like it got a bit of the plate. Maybe it was a bit down.
Maybe a little low. Ball 1, 1 and 2.
And then if you're ever going to get the benefit of the doubt as a batter, it's going to be his 0-2. So now, does he come back with a backdoor curveball here, or does he bust him in on the hands? Let's see. Looking like he's going inside. Backdoor curveball. Didn't get it, though.
Missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's actually a nice move on the part of Perkins. It looked like he started to actually shift inside almost as if to give an indication he was coming in, and then he shifted back out. That was not bad. Now he's looking like he's going in. Set up inside.
Fouled back out of play.
Couldn't quite get the fastball by him.
Stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Melbourne Ballpark.
Now,
Melbourne Challenge game 2 of a 3-game series.
yeah, is he going to break out the changeup this early, or is he going to wait till second time through the count? This would be a good situation for it, but not sure if he'll use it this early.
Swing and a miss. Got him. 3 up, 3 down. 2
High heat.
strikeouts. Head to the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless. Aces coming to bat. Back after this.
Having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum
Grab a gelato.
and have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help
I could
minimise
talk
your
about this a
chances
bit
of
after,
suffering
too.
many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Melbourne Arts Precinct in South Bank. It's home to Australia's highest concentration of art organisations. That includes the National Gallery of Victoria, the Art Centre in Melbourne, the Malthouse Theatre, the Australian Centre for Contemporary Art, the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, the Australian Ballet, and many, many more. Wonderful, wonderful city to get out and explore.
Yeah, oh God, I love the National Gallery.
Yeah, it's great. Fantastic stuff. Some art of its own here on the field, Melbourne Ballpark. Aces coming to bat in the bottom of the first. Game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge between the Aces and the Adelaide Giants. On the mound is Tim Atherton, the ABL veteran, and he will face the hottest ace of all, Aiden Willis.
Yes.
2 hits last night, 2 runs scored. Young kid having a blast.
Yeah, nice interview. He did well. Patient hitter.
Yeah, we'll see how he goes tonight against the veteran. Fouled out of play.
Good pitch to hit, though. Went right after him, but he didn't hesitate.
Atherton, big right-hander. Wearing number 20, Adelaide in the blue, as Rob mentioned earlier. Aces in the red. Outside corner, strike 2.
Nice pitch. That was right in the corner. Well thrown. So
Sure
2
was.
fastballs, 0-2. What's going to come next?
Oh. Outside corner, called third strike. Looked a little outside from up here.
Yeah, you
Doesn't
know.
matter.
Yeah, it's still a strike.
It is.
You know, it was close enough. You know, 2-2 count. You know, you wouldn't feel bad. It's a bit of a surprise to get that on an 0-2 count. That's all.
Brings up Darryl
Oh.
George, 2 for 3 last night.
Actually, the replay bears that out even more in depth. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair bit out.
A couple of hits last night for Darryl. He and Tim Atherton would have had many encounters over the years. First pitch, line up the middle, shortstop. Barry scoops, throws to first, in time, 2 down.
Well, I really love that the last couple nights, that montage of all the arts that we have here in Victoria and in Melbourne. It's just
Yep.
fantastic. I remember, I must say, first time I met my in-laws was having a drink out the back of the NGV.
Is that right?
Yeah, just great memories of just seeing the art there and the experiences that they offer. It's just a great city we live in Melbourne.
Yeah, it certainly is. Jack Barry steps in. He as well, 2 for 3 yesterday. Did also have a strikeout. Atherton really throwing strikes here.
Getting ahead. And that you'll get the calls when you get ahead. You're around the plate the whole time. That's you'll get those ones just off the plate a little more often.
Saw some good pitching last night, and it seems to have carried over tonight. I don't want to speak too soon, but that's inside.
Yeah. Word on the street, though, is that these guys, neither one of them will necessarily go too deep into the game because they're not that stretched out.
Yep.
So let's enjoy it while you can, folks. You'll
Yeah,
see
it was luxury last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This shortened 7-inning game just could go with a couple of pitchers. A little different tonight in a regulation 9-inning game. That's fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jack Barry. You see that crowd there. Pretty nice. Still coming in.
Hey, if you're out in the West, there's still time. You can get tickets at the gate. We're playing 9 tonight. We got at least 2.5 hours of baseball left.
Absolutely.
Pop on the freeway. We're not far.
Come on out. Tell them Rob sent you. They'll put a little extra on your ticket. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit right through the legs of Donald Lutz.
I'll tell you what, folks. You come and sit in our section. You come to the booth and say hello. I'll buy you a drink. I'll tell you, if you're not in the ballpark now and you're get off your couch, come out to the game, come up here in the section. I will buy you a drink.
I like it. What are we thinking on that one, Rob? Error?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. 100%. Kyle Perkins coming to the plate. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. And a chance here to push Barry around the bases. 2 outs, man on first.
Oh. He's owning that corner right now. Really throwing well. Oh, 1 count, 2 outs, runner on first. Here in the bottom of the first inning.
0-1 pitch. That's hit a mile high. I think it's out of play. We're looking at it. Just to the right of the party deck. Last night saw a great catch off that deck.
Yeah.
No truth to the rumor that he'll be playing for the Giants tomorrow.
Well, it depends how hard the Aces get hit as well. Both teams a little shorthanded at times. We're living in an interesting period.
Sure are. Put these teams together at the last minute in some cases. That one's lined into right field. That's a base hit. Stagg is over, picks it up well. But Barry safely into third.
Yeah,
Aces have runners on the corners after Perkins singles to right center.
Yeah, off crack of the bat with 2 outs, so did a nice job, Barry, getting first to third. But also a nice piece of hitting there as well by Perkins. Went with the pitch, outer half, and drove it into the gap. It's good patient hitting.
A nice time for Jared Cruz to break out of his 1-game slump. He was 0 for 3 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts.
Gosh, he was smooth at shortstop, though.
Sure is.
He's really got a good sense of the speed of the runner, and we'll talk maybe more about his defense later. But
nice time for a hit, though.
Yeah.
There's a broken bat to Barry. Flips it over to second, McConnon, and the inning is over. Aces get a hit, but no runs. They do get a man to third. Score remains nothing. Back with a second inning after this.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back. Smiling faces in the sunshine at Melbourne Ballpark. Beautiful night for baseball. There's an ACES fan, San Francisco Giants fan. You see all kind of hats here at the ballpark as we head to the top of the second inning, game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge between the home team, the ACES, the visitors, the Adelaide Giants, scoreless. And the Giants bring Donald Lutz, Wade McConnon, and Griffin Weber to the plate against Stephen Kent.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about the lights going out, and it turned out it was obviously they've got the new LED lighting system, and at the end of the day, it just had an automatic shutoff that was in the fine print at 10 o'clock unless you reset the settings. So they subsequently did that and got the lights back on as quickly as they could, and we can safely assume the lights will stay on for the duration of the game tonight.
I think they will. More happy fans watching the ACES. Donald Lutz comes to the plate, 0 for 3 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts, but he has big power. And if you make a mistake, this guy will take advantage of it. Stephen Kent winds, fires, flips back to the screen. Ball 1.
Looks like we have the shift on again for another big swinging lefty. George is essentially playing at shortstop.
He is,
And
indeed.
yeah, and then shortstop Cruz is just to the other side of second base, and Skinner's in short right field, and Barry's in your normal positioning.
That one's fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, if he can somehow push this to the opposite field,
Yeah.
he's got at least 2. No, he doesn't run that well, so you'd think 2.
Just get on base. Then again, he could hit a homer.
Save himself the trouble.
Yeah. Oh, nice pitch.
Sure was. Fooled him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sun getting a little stronger now. Lutz steps out.
Got a gentle breeze coming in from the left. Picking up a bit, actually. Nice pitch.
Very good.
Another
pitch.
strikeout. Wow.
Yeah, Lutz goes down again. Stephen Kent looking very sharp. Brings up Wade McConnon. He's a Melbourne-based kid. Upway, I think he said.
I believe he's at Upway this year.
He's just playing in this series for Adelaide. He played as an emergency fill-in last year for the Giants. All kinds of strange things last year around COVID here, as it was in many parts of the world. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Nice location on that pitch. McConnon up there swinging.
Oof.
Yeah, looked pretty good, maybe a little low.
Yeah, must have just missed. There is Stephen Kent, 32-year-old ABL veteran. Remember interviewing him when we did a Canberra game. Really lovely guy. That one is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, super nice guy. One of those sort of class acts, all about the ABL, you know, just like to have him around. Nice guy.
Actually, I think the second pitch was a bit low as well. I think we're 2-1 count.
Yes. So is the third one.
Yeah. I'm trying to watch it both in the monitor to get some height, because we can't judge the height as well up here in the booth. We can obviously judge inside, outside pretty well.
Giving away trade secrets now.
Yeah, well. We've got limitations. Just giving you our best, folks.
3-1 count. 1 away. That one's ripped
gonna
into
get down?
right field. It's going to just
fair
stay
ball.
fair. McConnon headed to second. Here comes the throw. Safe. Just under it. Pretty decent throw out there from Nick Bertucci.
Yeah. Good hustle by McConnell. Nice head first slide. Always a little bit risky on the fingers, but it's always a beautiful slide head first.
A double for Wade McConnell.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling good.
Absolutely.
That's nice. He waited back on that pitch. He did a nice piece of hitting, actually. Just inside the line.
Just inside the line. Bertucci with the scoop. He threw that off his back foot as well, too. And wasn't that far off. So man on second, 1 out. Griffin Weber, who did not play yesterday.
Correct.
He's the designated hitter.
Yeah, he's got quite a nice history. He's won, what I think, under 16, under 18 championship, as they call it, the golden generation out of the South Australia, I think they've described it, where they broke a lot of title droughts for their junior programs.
He's starting catcher at Henley and Grange. I love that name for a ball club. It sounds like a wine or a law firm or something. Henley and Grange.
Everything's classy in South Australia.
Yeah, true. Great part of the world, obviously. We talk a lot about Melbourne, which is fabulous, but so is SA. That's hit hard into center field, but it's going to be playable. It's not gone as far as I thought. In fact, cruises over and makes the play. 2 down. Thought that was actually destined for Willis, but it caught in the wind. Easy out.
Yeah, you see those flags blowing. It has an impact.
So 2 down. Runner remains on second. And Lachlan Wells comes to the plate.
Mercy me, an out without a strikeout. What's going on? The fielders had to make a put out.
Wells didn't play yesterday either. He spent 4 years with the Blue Sox.
Yeah, he's a Geelong product, isn't he, I think? Is that correct? Yeah, he's connection to Josh Spence, if memory serves.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, it's getting guys to chase that outside pitch a little bit this inning. Well, I'm still waiting for somebody to show up from to claim that free drink. Get off your couch. Come watch the game. We got at least 2 hours of baseball left. Oh, nice work behind the plate. Very nice.
Blocked by Perkins. Keeps the runner McConnell at second.
Gosh, and the key there, too, is you've got to come and make sure that your chest is arched over the ball so that it doesn't scoot too far away, as it kind of almost did there, but that was inevitable because he had to actually get out and around it a bit, too. It's not just blocking, it's keeping it under control so that the guy can't advance to the next base.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And Perkins did a nice job of that last night, too, by the way.
Strike 2. Kemp blew it right by him. 3 strikeouts already for Stephen Kent.
I wonder if he's going to try to come with a backdoor curveball here. He just put a sight line high with that high fastball. Way ahead in the count. I don't think he'll break out the changeup this early. He'd probably save that for second time through, even though he's not going to throw a lot tonight, so maybe he would bring it out earlier. He's going to stay away. Fastball away. Got him. Another strikeout.
That's 4 on the night for Stephen Kent. Giants get a hit, but no runs. Head to the bottom of the second. No score. Back after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also,
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Ed Wyatt, Rob Novotny, Amy McCann with you. Game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge. We had some fans enjoying the night out. Great to have baseball back in 2022. Aces and Giants in a 3-game series here. Weren't sure if we were going to have any baseball, Rob, but it's so good that this was put together. As you mentioned, Victorian government, City of Melbourne, ACES, Giants, ABL, other clubs, right, around Melbourne and Adelaide.
Yeah, and we're getting viewers around the country. We had a nice text message last night from Adam Dobb, the former CEO of the Sydney Blue Sox. You know, around the country, we're offering them a bit of ABL when they're not getting it.
So Tim Atherton will continue on the mound for the Adelaide Giants. He'll face Nick Bertucci, Marcus Graham, Bronson Neve, 3 youngsters, all brought up for this series. This is Bertucci. He was 1 for 3 yesterday. Swing and a miss. Does have some power, this youngster.
God, did he bash it around at batting practice today. And had a hit last night, too.
Swing and a miss quickly in an 0-2 hole.
And if memory serves, 17-year-old as well.
Yep.
Gosh.
From the Moorabbin Baseball Club. Stays alive and fouls one off.
Boy, if they're smart over in the U.S., they're watching these broadcasts to see get a little bit of a head start on what's available to them. In fact, we got 4 young guys coming up this inning at the bottom half of the lineup.
Indeed.
Yeah, all making their ACES debut this weekend.
That's grounded in the hole. That's a nice play by Lutz. Throws to Atherton.
Yeah. 1
away. That's a really nice play. Lutz had that error in the first inning, but boy, he fielded that really well.
Yeah, and to Bertucci's credit as well, he waited back, and actually that was a pitch to go the other way with. And as much as he was pulling the ball in batting practice, to see him in a 2-strike count to be able to put the ball the other way says a lot about him as a young hitter.
There's Atherton hustling over to make the play. Good defensive stuff there from the Giants. Marcus Graham now the designated hitter. Rough night yesterday on debut, 0 for 3 and a couple of strikeouts. But, you know, it is a step up, as we talked about.
Yeah, another Barrack boy along with Aiden Willis.
Outside corner, strike 1.
I was talking a little bit about Adam Dobb and the Sydney Blue Sox before. Ooh, nice pitch. And I'd put Adam in the class, another owner, a lot like our own Brett Ralph, just willing to do anything for the ball club, trying to create a culture of excellence. The league's going to miss him, that's for sure. Ready to spend a bit more time with his growing boys. No longer in the role or choosing to be in charge of the ball club. But they really did some gutsy things, like bringing out Ramirez. Goodness, Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, Manny.
Yeah, if he would have played, the difference that would have, well, it still had a big impact for the league.
1-2 pitch.
Ooh,
A
good
little
miss.
bit high, 2-2.
But those are the sort of things we need, people ready to take a risk, trying to create something special for baseball. And we've got a lot of good people in baseball doing that, no less than our own Brett Ralph here in Melbourne.
1 out, no score. Count is 2-2. Atherton to Graham. Got him swinging. Second strikeout of the night for Tim Atherton. Brings up Bronson Neve, left fielder. He was 0 for 2 yesterday. Also had a pair of strikeouts, so he's looking to make some contact here.
Yeah, it might be worth coming back to this a little bit later as well. Just the culture of excellence that Brett and Justin and the whole team are creating here, or have created here with the ACES. It doesn't happen by accident.
Well, you don't win back-to-back titles with a poor culture, that's for sure. First pitch lined sharply just over the ACES dugout into the net. Strike 1.
I'm trying to remember, Neve is 16 or 17. Gosh, he looks like he's ready to fill out. And when he does.
Yeah. He's just turned 18, I think, in January.
Just turned 18.
Yeah.
Still looks like he's got room to grow.
Good-looking kid.
Yeah. There's an off-speed pitch, just miss. Good break on that.
1-1's the count. Couple of veterans going at it. Atherton and Stephen Kent. Here's Atherton's curveball, strike 2.
That one hit the target. 1-2. What's he going to do? Is he going to?
They come with a fastball.
Yeah, maybe go away or bust him in the hands. Let's see. Looks away. Change his sight line up.
High, got away from 2-2. It's grounded to third. Lachlan Wells up with it. Throw to first, a little high. Lutz keeps his foot on the bag.
Nice play by Lutz.
And makes the final out. It was a very nice play. 3 up, 3 down. We're going to head to the top of the third inning. Melbourne Challenge is still scoreless. Back after this.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum
Grab a gelato.
and have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Stephen Kent warming up here in the top of the third from Melbourne Ballpark. Game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge. Game 3 will be tomorrow afternoon. Melbourne Aces. That's a good camera shot there of Kent and Kyle Perkins, the battery here tonight.
Well, you mentioned today the outfield's still a bit soggy from all that rain we had yesterday. Goodness, you feel it. Goodness, you could feel it underfoot, just a bit soggy.
Yeah, it was.
From all the rain we had yesterday. You know, the grounds crew was out here from 5, Mick Warren and his gang were out here from 5:30 a.m. yesterday, and they cleaned the field 4 times throughout the day to ensure that we had baseball last night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That was quite an effort. Here's Max Stagg leading off. A couple of nice plays in the field, but at the plate, not as successful as 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout. But looks pretty handy out in the right field.
Strike one again.
17-year-old wearing the Giants jersey for the first time. Swing and a miss. 2 quick strikes.
Yeah. Let's see where he's going to miss this time.
Outside.
Yeah, curveball in the dirt.
Stephen Kent here in the third inning looking pretty good. We were told that 3-ish innings for him, but
he's been pretty efficient, so you think we might get a 4th out of him?
I would think so, yeah. That would be my guess. We don't know, but that you would think that, wouldn't you? 1-2 pitch.
Just foul tipped it.
Stagg stays alive, indeed.
Well, then again, if he doesn't eat too many innings, then we might get to see Genevieve become a little bit sooner, so nothing wrong with
Indeed. Count remains 1-2, top of the third.
Oh, good miss.
Breaking ball. 2-2.
Let's see if he sets up for a fastball inside here. There's a couple breaking balls.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? With a youngster, you figured he'd go with a little more than just straight stuff.
It's away again. Fastball away.
Grounded to third. George scoops. Going to take a good throw.
Oh, nice pick.
And a nice pickup by Jack Barry. 1 away.
Actually, that might have been the changeup there. Looked like he rolled over a bit.
Take a look at this replay.
Yeah, he took a bit off. That was a changeup. You can see it in the grip as well. Kind of roll over the pitch, and Darryl George made a nice play. Ultimately, real nice play at first by Barry.
Yeah, nice scoop by Barry.
Yeah.
Speaking of Barry, here's Barry. Darcy Barry, the shortstop, was 1 for 2 yesterday.
And he missed out on that wonderful slide into second and taking off to third, but the lights went out.
One of the best heads-up plays we've seen, to be honest with you, for nothing. Chops that down the right field line. Foul. 1-1 is the count. No score, top of the third. Grounded to George. Throw to Barry. Boom. Another 5-3 if you're scoring it at home.
Yeah, and he had plenty of time on that too, and he really, he knew he did. He knew he got it quick. He was playing in a bit, so he took his time, made sure to make a good throw to get us our second out.
Head to the top of the order now, and Jack Partington, the center fielder. And guess what he did the first time he was up? Grounded out to Darryl George.
Oh, and I just had a follow-up note from yesterday. We were talking about Stephen Smith, one of the Hanger boys over in Adelaide. He texted back, he still is an ACES fan, do or die. And it was his birthday yesterday, watching the ACES.
How about that? Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday. And one thing I forgot to say about this guy, he has a signed baseball from virtually maybe minute -1 of every Australian who's played in the major leagues. Impressive collection.
That's hit to center field. Willis is over. He's got a beat on it. Makes the play.
Aiden Willis.
How about that? 3 up and 3 down. Head to the bottom of the third. Scoreless between the Aces and the Giants.
Oof.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Adelaide Giants, Melbourne Aces, scoreless. As we head to the bottom of the third inning. So Lachlan Wells is coming in to pitch. Now, we had him down. I think we've had some confusion potentially on the... Did we have him at third base? Or was he shifted over? We're going to have to get a look at this.
I think it's Brock Wells at third. A different character.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, that's why.
Apologies for the lineup. There have been some lineup issues here with some late additions and some number changes. So Lachlan Wells will be pitching. And did you say Brock Wells?
Brock Wells is who I have at third base, yeah.
He's the third baseman.
Yeah, the Geelong boy who just batted, yeah.
There we go. So Lachlan Wells comes on to pitch for Tim Atherton.
And he had a short stint, we just checked, only 26 pitches. But as we said with both starting pitchers, they weren't necessarily going to be in the game very long. But you wonder about our guy, Kent's only thrown 37 pitches.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll squeak another inning out of him. He's throwing so efficiently, but you can't expect it.
So Sam Skinner's the batter for the Aces, second baseman. Youngster, seeing his first action this weekend, fouls that one down the line.
Yeah, Skinner's here to play. Yeah, out of outs. Yeah.
We are still getting some information as Skinner strikes out. Looking. We're going to retract this for you because the numbers have been switched. Atherton is still on the mound. He's wearing number 20 and is still pitching. So apologies for all that confusion. We've got some number changes that have continually fooled us a little bit.
Yeah, apologies, folks.
So Atherton remains on the mound in his third inning of work. There is one out. There is no score. And Aiden Willis, the top of the order for the Melbourne Aces. Almost hit him, but ends up fouled away. Ball and a strike. So Atherton was slated to wear 42. He's not wearing that. He's wearing 20, which was meant to be Lachlan Wells' number. There's another Wells been brought on to play. So, again, we apologize for the confusion. We will get our head around it. As you can appreciate, these rosters put together at the last minute with some COVID pullouts and things like that. So I think we've got it somewhat right, and we will endeavor to find out for sure.
One ball, two strikes. Let's see what Willis does here.
Good breaking ball.
Goodness, yes. That's one of those where you tip your cap.
4 strikeouts.
Melbourne ACES, it's third baseman, Darryl George.
Here comes Darryl George now. Grounded out his first time up. Seen a bit of action in the field at third base. Funny thing, baseball, isn't it? Willis has a 2-hit beauty night tonight. 2 called third strikes. It's the way the game works. Grounded sharply down the third baseline. Foul. Melbourne challenge. Game 2. Aces won last night 2-1.
Another low-scoring game tonight so far.
Scoreless in the bottom of the third. Fooled him badly on that.
Yeah, nice off speed there. Yeah.
Quick 2 strikes against George. That misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, probably a good miss there. So let's see what he comes with next. Maybe another off speed.
Oh, grounded right up the middle. Really nice play by the second baseman. Won't be able to get there in time, and George beats it out for an infield single. McConnell, nice play, but all his weight was going one way. There was no way he was going to make that play. Watch it again on the replay.
Yeah, McConnell's here to play tonight. Nice job.
Melbourne ACES, Jack Barry.
It's like Grateful Dead walk-up music.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Has to be.
Second hit of the night for the Aces. Brings up Jack Barry. Reached on an error. The ball that skidded under the legs of Donald Lutz.
Yeah. Let's see if we make something happen, take advantage. Oh, nice pitch on the outside there.
Strike 1. That's a good umpire's view.
Nice angle there, yes.
Sure is. Swing and miss. 2 quick strikes on
Yeah.
Barry now.
What was that pitch? Was that a low off speed? Kept that spin nice and tight on that. Perhaps a slider.
George on first, 2 outs, no score, bottom of 3. Misses outside again, or outside that time, 1-2. Kind of a repeat of the previous at-bat with George. A couple of strikes, a ball, and then he slapped it up the middle. See what happens here.
That's a heart of the order. The first 3 in the lineup did all the damage last night.
Yep.
Oh, gets him with the off speed.
Fooled him again. That'll do it. 5 strikeouts for Atherton. No runs on 1 hit. Gonna head to the top of the 4th. Still scoreless. Back with more Melbourne Challenge after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually... Oh, and there's also...
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
In Melbourne, you can uncover some of the city's most revered places of significance to Aboriginal people and understand the locals who were and still are central to Aboriginal existence. A lot to learn, plenty of people to teach you about it. All part of the great city of Melbourne in Victoria. Welcome back to the ballpark. Melbourne Aces, Adelaide Giants. Scoreless as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Ed Wyatt, Rob Novotny, joined by Amy McCann again. Great to see you, Amy.
Thank you. Another great day for baseball. No rain today. It's looking absolutely a little bit chilly. I've managed to find a jumper in the car, which is great. Classic Altona weather.
Indeed.
Great to be back.
We have a new pitcher as well. I believe it's Jeremy Young, if we've got this right. Have I got that right?
You do have. Hey, it's not on you, my friend.
No, we've solved the problem. We'll get you caught up on that as Young
misses.
Delivers to Rickson Wingrove. We are scoreless in the top of the 4th inning.
Another quick-moving game.
It is indeed. Misses outside. So Stephen Kent goes 3 innings. Jeremy Young in now, and saw your interview before the game, Amy. Be interesting to see if Genevieve gets a run tonight. We're all looking forward to it. We're edge of our seats.
I can literally, I'm just taking a sneaky look down the right field line. I can see her warming up there.
Oh, geez. Don't say that. I've got to get my binoculars out. Have a look. Good pitch.
Yeah, nice inside pitch there.
It was a 3-0 delivery, so 3 balls and a strike. Jeremy Young, of course, 5 seasons with the Aces as he ends up walking Rickson Wingrove, only the 2nd walk of the series. Mitch Edwards now, the catcher, steps in.
Well, if I've got this correct, the final line For our starter today, Stephen Kent, what did he throw? 3 innings, 37 pitches, gave up 1 hit, and they struck out 4, no walks. Nice outing.
First
and Jeremy
pitch is a strike. Sorry, Rob. That's grounded foul just over the Aces dugout. Strike 2.
Two-strike count here. Sorry, 1-1. Umpire says 1-1. No, now he corrected himself. It's a 2-strike count, just like the scoreboard said. No, now he says it's 1-1. I'm confused.
He said 1-1 there. You're right.
Yeah.
And there was some confusion from the Aces as well. Now he's going back to 0-2.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, for everybody at home, well, they're seeing the umpire as well. You know, hey, and again, gosh, none of us are perfect, so let's, yeah, we'll get as long as we get it right in the end, eh?
That's lined into right field for a base hit. Wingrove moves to second. Mitch Edwards' first hit of the series. That breaks a little bit of a slump for him. And Adelaide have 2 men on here.
Only their second hit of the game as well.
Interesting, we saw the first time Donald Lotz came up, the shift they had. Obviously only Darryl George on the left side of the diamond, forced into more of a regulation field here with the double play, or triple play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely right.
Still cheating.
And that's a very good point. Runners on, they're going to have to stay a little more. George still a fair ways over, but you're right. Jared Cruz has to respect the runner. He's on the third base side of the bag as opposed to where he had been.
Yeah, but on a double play ball from George, it's going to have to go to Cruz and not to the second baseman Skinner with this alignment.
Lutz struck out looking his first time. He's hit that a mile high. Let's see if that's playable down the third base line. George is chasing it. It's just going to hit on top of that new bar area down the left field line, which I've yet to check out. We've been out there, but it wasn't open.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and again, if you're going to get off your couch and drive out to the ballpark, I'll buy you a drink down there. Just prove to me that you've come after, that you're coming late, that you got off your couch, you're watching the game. Let's fill up this ballpark tonight.
I see a bus roll in with about 30 people. You have to get into your wallet. And 1 ball, 1 strike to Donald Lutz. 2 men on.
Oh,
That's
nice
grounded
pitch.
into the Aces dugout. Look out.
By the way, that Gerald George really gave chase well on that. He had to cover a lot of ground. He's practically playing shortstop, and he got to the fence.
There's that area we were talking about there. There's left field line, all-star bar down the first base line. Look at that.
Yeah, and again, we spoke about this last night. We're getting the sight lines right, setting up some of those venues down the line really to frame up the ballpark well and give you good line of sight.
1-2 pitch, hit down to Jack Barry, makes the play. Looked to double up the runner Edwards, but he was smart and got back early, but that's a big out.
Barry's done a nice job at first base.
Sure has. So 1 away. Watch that again. Not hit really that hard, but reasonably tough play for Barry, who makes it. So Wade McConnon now, he doubled his first time up. 1 out. That one's blue.
Hayden Willis.
There's our man making the play.
That's the speed we were looking at on the bases last night. Hoping he gets on base again today. Maybe we'll see a stolen base from him this weekend.
He's got a fan club up here, no doubt about it.
I think it was the poise in the interview just won me over.
2 quick outs after 2 men on. So Wingrove still at second. Edwards still at first. Griffin Weber steps in.
So do we have Genevieve down in the bullpen, did you say, Amy?
Yeah, took a sneaky look before. She's definitely down there doing her process of going through a warm-up. The pitch is just outside from Jeremy.
Weber, the designated hitter.
So we spoke a little bit last night, Amy. 20 years since you first made your national team. And here's the pitch. Oh, nice breaking ball.
Swing and a miss.
And now we have somebody 17 years old.
I was hoping that wasn't going to be your next line. But
Yeah, I know. Well, not to drop.
Got to get better at that, Rob.
Yeah, well, I mean, I coached it 20 years ago, so it's not making me feel any younger either, but it just kind of tells you in the short life of women's baseball. Oh, nice pitch, and he got him.
But it's an interesting thought that that while yes, I do feel a little bit old.
You don't look it.
Thank you. You can't control.
And I hear you still move pretty well in the diamond.
You can't control your age. I think it's a great sign. She was born only 3 months after the first World Cup, and I think we're already seeing her make so many history-making steps in this sport. And she's only 17, and we're only 20 years old, the Australian women's team. So great things.
There, he got him. Young comes through.
Nice pitch.
After giving up a walk and a hit, he comes back, retires the next 3. No runs, 1 hit. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Still scoreless from Melbourne.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Tim Atherton going to go another inning for Adelaide. 4th inning of pitching for him. We are scoreless. Been a pretty good ball game. Rob Novotny is here alongside me, as well as Amy McCann. Pretty good baseball, Amy, considering, we're not mid-season. We kind of throw this together. I've been impressed.
Yeah, and then throw in obviously some late withdrawals due to COVID and managers scrambling to put a lineup together. It's fantastic, and you can see by the crowd. Spoke to Justin Huber before the game, and talking to him 5 minutes before the first pitch, there was cars lining all the way down to those factories down the street. It's absolutely fantastic, and I was just stuck my head up before out the door, and I could see there's a whole bunch of kids in the car park with their gloves. I might actually spot one of the 20 to make sure I protect my car. I'm starting to rethink where I've parked it, actually, given the amount of foul balls out there. But it's just so great to see. A little bit nippy out here tonight, but so great to see so many people, so many kids too.
Yeah, absolutely right. Kyle Perkins, Jared Cruz, Nick Bertucci for the Aces here in the bottom of the 4th. Still scoreless. Swing and a miss. Atherton already has 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. It looks pretty sharp. Perkins singled his first time up.
Still right around that outside corner.
Breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So the question becomes, with the women's program going forward with Genevieve Beacom, how many more like her will we see with the continued growth of the program, continued opportunities that we're trying to build here for women?
That's inside. Ball
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Rob. And I think, look, I'd love there to be a dozen or 3 dozen Genevieves running around of all different, positions and skills in the sport. But I think, just as I said before, we're just hit the 2nd generation of our sport. As I said, the women's team's only 20 years old.
Got him. 6 strikeout on the night for Atherton. 1 away.
Nice outing. Well, also with the, running the women's showcase program that the ABL does with the ABLW on the horizon for as soon as next summer. Those will be places for the next generation of Genevieve Beacoms to focus on, to have the opportunity in women's baseball.
Exactly. The old saying, you can't be what you can't see. So we've got the opportunity now, such as we see in the AFL and the women's cricket, to be on TV. And
correct.
we get that here, and yeah, there's going to be people who want Genevieve's autograph.
Here's Jared Cruz now.
Misses
Grounded
up and
out
in.
his first time up. That was inside. Cruz
Which
looking
actually
for a
was-
hit. Sorry, apologies.
That's okay. I was just saying, which was me earlier in the day, sneaky trying to get down to meet Genevieve. Bit of fangirling moment for myself.
She's impressive, no doubt about it. Can't wait to see her with an opportunity if she gets it. 1-1. 17 years old. I felt in that interview very composed, you know. Very had some good answers to your questions. I was very impressed. There's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, Atherton, in mid-season form, you weren't far off when you said one of the best pitchers in the country at the moment. He looks sharp.
He's going deeper in the game than we expected, to be honest. So,
Well, we knew that Kent wasn't going to go many. I wasn't sure about Atherton, but yeah, I didn't think perhaps he'd go this way. As that's fouled back towards my car, in fact, and maybe yours too. It's always nervous when you see that in that certain direction. Where did I park?
Yeah.
Oh,
Too
yeah.
many have gone down that right field line.
and I try to consider.
she is.
Yeah, I try to consider which piece of glass in the car is least expensive to replace.
Look at her. Cool, calm and collected, as Pete Moylan said to me last night. I don't think he'll mind me saying this. He said, I quote, "She's cooler than I am." He's a pretty cool cat, so
True.
Big words from Moylo there. No, I actually believe, I think she'll be the least nervous person out there. She takes just all of this in her stride. She's an absolute gamer.
Nice to see the fans scoring like we are up here.
Indeed.
That's a true baseball fan.
Book was probably neater than ours. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's in the dirt. So 3-2, full count now.
Nice
Jared
block by
Cruz.
Edwards.
Sure was.
Really had to move over and get it. Slower pitch, so it's easier to do. There she is again.
That is Genevieve Beacom, 17-year-old phenom. Hoping to see her pitch this weekend. 3-2 pitch coming up to Jared Cruz. Got him swinging again. That's 7 strikeouts for Atherton. In fact, struck out the last 3 batters.
I also got to think.
Last 4 batters.
Sorry, pal.
That's all right.
I just got to think from Genevieve's point of view too. I mean, we are hyping up. You know, she's a female and potentially going to make an appearance during the series. But at the end of the day, she's a ball player and she wants to play baseball.
Yeah, correct.
You know, and it's important that she breaks this barrier in a sense that anybody can play at the highest level if they're capable. In that we can dream to reach the highest level and not be held back regardless of our gender, regardless of our background. And that's a great thing. Baseball is a very democratic sport in that regard. It'd be nice to take that step forward here in Australia as well.
Nick Bertucci at the plate. First pitch is a strike. So looking at Atherton, he struck out the last 2, but he struck out 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced. And looking to strike out the side here, Bertucci grounded out his first time up. Breaking ball in strike.
Throwing that well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they just keep running with him, you know? I mean, pull a guy out if he strikes out the side? I don't know.
And they want to win a game.
That's grounded sharply.
But, you know, I'm
Foul.
sorry, I don't know how well I said that before, Amy, but, you know, from your point of view, at the end of the day, it is so important that she's a woman, but at the end of the day, at her heart, she's a baseball player, whether she's a man or a woman.
She is. Look, I think it's unfortunately, when you're the first doing something, particularly a girl or a woman doing something in a predominantly male sport, you don't have a choice. You are going to have that focus for being that first, and there's lots of firsts. We've seen them.
Yep.
But I think the main thing is hopefully she's not the last.
Oh, another strikeout.
Got him. Struck out the side. 8 on the night. Aces go down again. We are still scoreless as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Aces and the Giants back with more Melbourne Challenge after this break.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Jeremy Young on the mound for his second inning of work. There's no score between the Melbourne Aces and the Adelaide Giants as you look at some fans in the premium seats behind home plate or down close to the Aces or the Adelaide dugouts. Really great, comfy seats as you can see. I'm Ed Wyatt, Rob Novotny, Amy McCann with me as well. And now we can clarify the great roster confusion that we had. Brock Wells now is coming to bat. Lachlan Wells, the pitcher, was unfortunately a COVID withdrawal, so Brock Wells is brought up, a development player. He's wearing number 33. Atherton 20, that was supposed to be Lachlan Wells' number. Anyway, this is Brock Wells. He struck out his first time up.
Another nice pitch.
Yeah, Jeremy Young, second inning, he walked the first batter he faced. The next batter singled, then he got a line out, a fly out, and a strikeout to end the inning. That's inside. 1-2.
Jeremy Young actually spent quite a few seasons alongside his 5 years with the Aces, coaching the Victorian women's team. Captured a couple of nationals with the program. As we see him strike out.
Yes.
Wells there.
Set up that breaking ball real nice with the inside fastball, then just change the pitch, change the location. Got another strikeout.
Second strikeout for Jeremy Young as Max Stagg steps up. He grounded out to third his first time up.
So, Amy, to stay on the topic of women's baseball, what do you see as a future? What are the hopes? I mean, it's tough to quantify what's going to happen, particularly in this current climate, because it's so uncertain on so many levels.
That's popped up to Sam Skinner, the second baseman, makes the play, 2 away.
But what would we hope to happen in the summer ahead?
Look, the summer ahead, I really hope to see we get that ABL women's off the ground. I think, as we've seen from a number of the other sports, we need that pathway, and particularly as well around the fact that the World Baseball Softball Classic has moved the Women's World Cup to every 4 years now. We really need that step that we're missing.
Nice arm angle on that pitch.
It's Darcy Barry. He also grounded out his first time up.
And it's a product. We have to remember that things such as the AFL Women's and that they're still fantastic sporting competitions, but they also provide a product. And it's a key that we have that, so we have a product for families or for capturing people's attention in different ways. And I think that if we can get that ABL off the ground, we'll see what format it takes in its first year.
That's a nice hit lined into left field. Darcy Barry got a hit yesterday. Gets a hit tonight.
But we know there's a lot of great support from the ABL clubs. We saw the Brisbane Bandits and the Adelaide Giants get right behind the women's program last year. And we know, obviously, the Melbourne Aces, there's a licence for the women's team, and looking forward to a showcase in Geelong in May as well. So there's a really great support. I think everyone knows the strength of what a women's program can bring to any club.
Ooh, just missed on the outside.
It's Jack Partington, the center fielder, 0 for 2 tonight. He's 0 for 5 for the series.
And nice support. Of course, Baseball Victoria has a license for the ABLW team, but also seeing some nice support from Brett Ralph and the Aces as well.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's inside corner, nice pitch.
And just to segue a little bit there as well. Just after the game last night, Ed and I had the chance to kind of sit around with the coaching staff, with Brett as well. And let's just watch this next pitch, and then I'll continue.
1-1 pitch outside.
And Brett went through and he asked all the coaches, Peter Moylan all the way down, Graham Lloyd, John Diebel, did we do everything we needed to do to support you for us to be successful today? And there was a little bit of conversation around that. But then he went through every area of the operation and said, are we rising to our standard of excellence? And, just ball missed inside. At the end of the day, some things worked, some things didn't. But there's always that eye on how are we going to be great? How are we going to create that culture of excellence for baseball here with the Aces? And that's why we're seeing back-to-back championships. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing, seeing this series come out of nothing. And it's what we can hope for the women's program, too.
Runner going. Here's the throw down to second. It's going to go into center field. And Darcy Barry will stay at second with a stolen base.
So I think the women and the ABLW license here in Victoria is going to be greater for the support that it's getting from Brett Ralph and the ACES for sure.
Yeah, it really will. Obviously, the Nationals are looking ahead to April, traditional Easter slot in the calendar each year, and women's trials start in a couple of weeks, which is really exciting.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner is actually in scoring position here. And Partington draws a walk.
That's second walk of the game thus far.
He'll
For the outing,
along.
yeah. Or not for the game, but yeah, for this appearance.
So now you got yourself in a little bit of a pickle with Rickson Wingrove. And his power coming up. He walked his first time up, but he can hit. And Jeremy Young's got himself in a little bit of a 2-out jam here. He's going to try and pitch out of it here to a very dangerous hitter.
Shift is on again.
Swing and a miss.
3 infielders on the right side of the infield.
Yep.
Leaving George alone, kind of playing in the gap where between normally in the gap where the shortstop and third baseman are, but he's covering a lot of ground out there. Expecting Lutz to pull.
Bronson Neve is covering half of Melbourne in left field.
There's the pitch to Wingrove inside, gets away from Perkins, and the runners will advance.
This suddenly becomes a very important at bat in a series where there's only been a couple run or 3 runs scored. In a game where there's been no runs scored, there's 2 runners in scoring position, 2 out, 1-1 count,
and a stolen base, a walk, and a wild pitch / pass ball. So that's suddenly got the Aces in a little bit of trouble here. If Wingrove can deliver, it's 1 or maybe 2 runs for Adelaide. That's outside.
And it's not just on obviously Wingrove delivering. It's when you've got that shift on and you've got that potential bleeder going through that line. It's on Jeremy now to make sure he hits his spots, hits to that shift. Sorry, pitches to the shift. Sorry.
Strike 2, big pitch.
Big cut by Wingrove.
2-2, sure was.
He wasn't trying to drive in 2 runs. He was trying to drive in 3 runs with that cut.
He had his eye on that train, I think.
Yeah.
He did.
By the way, if you hit a train with a home run, you get a free 1-year subscription to Light and Easy, I understand.
I thought you were going to say you'll buy him a beer.
Yeah.
You're losing a lot of beers tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big pitch coming up here. Young to Wingrove. Stays alive, pops it up. Like a little breaking ball or off-speed pitch, Rob, and he stayed with it. Stayed alive, did Rickson Wingrove. Scoreless here, top of the 5th. Very good couple of games with 1 more tomorrow. Do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. That's blooped down the third base line. It's going to go foul.
Another off speed came in his kitchen with an off speed.
Looked a little dangerous there for a second when it left the bat, but it drifted foul. We'll do it 1 more time at least. Barry back to third. Partington back to second. And Young will deliver to Wingrove again. That's line into left field for a base hit.
That's
1
gonna be
run
2
is
runs.
in. Look at that speed on Partington. He easily crosses the base, and Rickson Wingrove has delivered and given the Adelaide Giants a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I think Jeremy will be unhappy with himself on that one. Just left that pitch there, as we said, at the shift on the right side and let that one through, get past that Darryl George. He's, you know what, he might be the king of Altona, but he can't cover all that ground.
No.
Take a look at that again. Just drives that into that gap. And Partington had a good lead, but has some speed as well. As Mitch Edwards now comes in. First pitch is fouled away. 2 runs in for Adelaide. They lead at 2-0 here in the top of the 5th. That's low, ball 1. Those walks so often come back to bite you.
Yeah. 2 walks in 2 innings thus far. With a couple of hits.
Grounded sharply, but foul down the first base line. Barry dove, but already was ruled foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Interesting contrast to last night's game. Obviously, a lot of water on the ground, and we didn't see. I think we saw 1 walk late in the 7 innings. Yeah, completely. Would have expected a few more walks last night. So.
Yeah, I think that was Sam Skinner's walk.
That was it. This is outside. Ball 2, 2-2. There's only a walk and HBP last night. To be honest, only 2 walks tonight, as you mentioned, Rob.
I think 2 in the last. Jeremy's had 1 in each of the last 2 innings. Let's see. Rest of the game. Is that it for the game?
Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic.
That was fouled down the left field line. Count remains 2-2. Still 2 outs. Jeremy Young trying to get out of this inning without any further damage. Fouled. Stays alive.
And look, at the end of the day, giving up 2 runs in a ball game, that should be something you can overcome. But not a lot of scoring so far thus in the series.
It'd be interesting to see if Atherton's out again for Adelaide. I don't see any action in the bullpen. In fact, I do. Just as I say that, there is some action down there. Low, ball 3, full count. It's hard to see over that bullpen fence down the left field line, but there is definitely some action there. And that's low, and another walk. So Michi Edwards heads down to first, and Rickson Wingrove moves over to second. And Jeremy will get a visit from Graham Lloyd, the pitching coach for the Aces.
Gosh, I'd almost throw 2 walks in an inning just so I could have Graham come out to talk to me. Goodness. What a gentleman, by the way.
He's one of the nicest guys, and 2 World Series rings.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like a guy off the street. He's just happy to chat with you. If he weren't that big,
Yes.
you wouldn't necessarily know he was an athlete, but he's a super guy.
True story, back before he was famous, Rodney Gaughan at the Melbourne Baseball Club used to invite him down to the beach house just to kind of dust the high areas of the house. Dust the top of the door jams, It's a true story, actually, but anyway.
So now, I know he's 0 for 5 in the series with 3 strikeouts, but Donald Lutz does have some power. So you don't want to make a mistake here with 2 men on. He's hit that high. Again, I think it's out of play down the third base line, and it is.
And they're shifting for Lutz like they did for Wingrove. And just for those of you listening, it's obvious to so many, but yes, Graham Lloyd, New York Yankees, 2 World Series rings.
Yep.
Still a beloved fixture at Old Timers Day in New York at Yankee Stadium.
And a bronze medal with the Australian Women's Baseball team in 2014.
Yes.
In Miyazaki. Yes.
And a silver for the men's team, right? There's a throw down to second, nobody there, and a bit of a double steal there.
Yeah.
Adelaide really making things happen in this inning. So runners at second and third. It's the 3rd stolen base of the night.
And here we are with another big swinging left-handed hitter.
It's like we're watching it on repeat, isn't it?
Yeah, but not quite the same shift. We've adjusted off that shift a bit, but this could change. This could be the game here.
Yep.
4 runs is going to be tough to come back from thus far. A lot of baseball left, of course, but just trying to impart the gravity of the moment.
The way the games have been played, you're right. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 men on. That's hit hard but foul down that first base line. That's what he can do. Straightens that out. That's over the fence.
But just watching him just thus far in the series, if he can get inside in his kitchen like that, he's pulling a lot of balls foul. For him to really do the damage, you're fearing leaving it over the plate. If you can just keep it on that corner, just off the corner, you're going to get that foul ball. Hopefully jam on the hands in the end and get the out. Same thing again there.
Yeah, it was. Sharply hit down the first base line, foul.
But thus far, we really haven't gotten him to jam on the hands and get it out, so maybe now we need to change location or change, Don't give a mug an even break, as they say. No disrespect intended.
To mugs.
Yes.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners in scoring position at second and third with Donald Lutz. He's popped that up, and I think that's out of play as well. Just over the grandstand to our left down the third baseline. We'll do it again.
Yeah, set him up for the off speed. Didn't quite get the result, but yeah, definitely got him off pace there.
Long at bat here from the veteran Donald Lutz. Here we go. That's hit into right field. That's going to score one. And they're bringing him around. Here comes the throw. Not going to be in time anyway. And Lutz delivers with a 2-run single. Just what we feared.
They could be twins, Lutz and Wingrove, and they both deliver.
Yeah, absolutely right.
2 RBIs in each case.
Melbourne living and dying by the 2-out RBI. So
Yeah.
4 now.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is we're not playing a 7-inning game tonight, and we don't have a curfew.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yep.
we're going to get 9 innings of baseball.
And we know the lights are not going to turn off at 10.
Yes.
Do we?
Yeah.
McConnon now steps in. He's 1 for 2 tonight, doubled in the second inning, flew out in the fourth.
Well, they're going to turn off. They better turn off now before we get 5 complete in.
Good point. Fouled away, 1-1.
No, Justin was very apologetic before in the stairwell. He was apologising to me. He said, "Oh well, I can't get a hit in the ballpark anymore. I'll make an impact in any way I can." So,
tongue in cheek, of course.
yes, very much so.
Oh.
It's sharply to Darryl George. He'll go to first. And the Aces do get out of the inning, but not before Adelaide. 3 hits equals 4 runs. And they'll take a 4-0 lead into the bottom of the 5th. Back after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
From live music and comedy to theaters filled with everything from musicals to cabaret, Melbourne is a festival city celebrated in light after dark. And Ed White, along with Rob Novotny and Amy McCann, certainly can attest to that. The live music scene, the art scene, just fantastic here. Theater, whatever you want, you got it.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, the blues clubs, yes. Oh, I used to love a blues club on Chapel Street called Muddy Waters. No longer there, but a lot of those bands are still playing. We got such a great live music scene here.
Looking at Adelaide's new pitcher is number 18, Jaden Bastow, making his Giants debut. He's a Sydney kid, just finished 3 years at Cook Community College. So they're throwing him into a bit of a spot here, but it's pretty nice to have a 4-0 lead. So Jaden Bastow will face Marcus Graham, Bronson Neve, and Sam Skinner, the bottom of the order. That's not a bad way if you're going to make your debut to face the bottom of the order. Some kids who are about the same as you, really.
Yeah. That's where, if we say bring Genevieve in, that'd be a great opportunity to bring her in as well, facing some of these younger guys from Adelaide.
Yeah, as opposed to coming right in to face Wingrove or Lutz or one of those veterans.
Yes,
That's exactly
indeed.
right.
Well, I can see Jen she's got rid of the slicker. She's in full playing uniform, warming up in the bullpen right now. So I don't want to call it too soon, but I think we could be seeing a bit of history in the next inning.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, ring up your neighbors. Get them on the live stream.
Exactly right.
You know a female athlete you care about? Show her this.
Here's Marcus Graham, the designated hitter. So for 4 throughout the series, 3 strikeouts. Struck out in the second innings, looking to get his first hit. Aces down 4-zip, bottom of 5. Basto inside and low.
Well, I'm correct. That's Atherton and 8 strikeouts.
I believe that's right. Yep.
Impressive performance.
Super performance. That's grounded to second. Wade McConnett over to first. 1 away. Bronson Neve now steps in. He is 0 for 3 throughout the series. Couple of strikeouts yesterday. Grounded out his first time up to third base. Just a little low. Look at some of the amenities here. Folks lining up. Cash in hand. Grab yourself something to drink or eat. Looks pretty good right about now.
Yeah, sorry, I felt a rumble in my stomach.
You're shouted?
Mr. Moneybags over here is the guy shouting everybody the beers. I did have some popcorn pregame. My lucky popcorn, I've called it. I don't know if it's working tonight with the Aces down 4-0 at the moment, but as Rob said, plenty of baseball to go. That's outside, 3-0. Sam Skinner on deck. I mean, equally, well, I talked about Basto facing the bottom of the order. The bottom of the order would be happy to not be facing a veteran like Atherton, right? As Neve takes a strike. 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Basto to Neve, and Neve earns the walk.
Well said. You don't always just draw a walk, you earn it.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Sam Skinner struck out his first time up. Runner on first. Basto, a few little control issues at the moment. Sort of compared to the other pitchers we've seen yesterday and today. You can tell immediately, maybe a little bit of nerves. Hard to say.
Well, I'd be that way.
That's a good pitch.
Nice off speed,
Yep,
yeah.
Sure was. 1-1. Top of the order, Aiden Willis on deck.
Another off speed.
Swing and a miss. It's a foul tip.
Skinner hanging in there. Beacom's still up in the bullpen. I see you got the binoculars out, Ed.
High-powered Israeli binoculars out, and yes, boy, I tell you what.
They come with a fourth
dose. It's the first time I've seen her throw, and it's just thrown in the bullpen.
It's impressive.
Sure is.
Israeli, did they come with the 4th dose of the vaccine?
Oh,
that was a good breaking ball.
That was just missed.
Yeah, well, Sammy's got on top of it.
2-2. He did draw a walk in last night's game. If he can get on here, then you got the top of the order coming up. That's what Peter Moylan would like. That's fouled away.
Boy, Skinner's really been in there battling all series long.
Agree.
You know? And that's what you want from your number 9 hitter, not to go down easy. Get on base when you can. Keep the conga line going.
Good young
get
kid.
it, as you said, get it to the top of the order.
Yeah, good young kid from the Sandringham Baseball Club. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first. And Skinner goes down.
Good throw, would have been close there, but still think he would have made it. Worth the effort.
It was 2 down. Brings up top of the order Aiden Willis. Good night last night, tough night tonight. Strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats. Looking to make some contact here. Keep the inning alive.
Here's the train.
That gets away from the catcher Edwards.
And honestly, we take a run to get on the board, but with the train going through, I will say again, I've heard rumors that if you hit the train with a home run, you get a 1-year subscription to Light and Easy.
Fair enough.
I've heard a rumour that train's full of people coming down to take you up on that 3 year. Pretty sure that's the 8:30 to Plymouth Street, I think.
That's right.
Stopping at Altona.
The 8:30 to Rob's wallet. There's the score, 4-0. Adelaide, bottom of 5th, 2 outs. Aces have a man on second. Aiden Willis at the plate. Single here could score a run, get the Aces a little bit of hope.
Remember, they do have to buy a ticket to come in.
True.
So I'll make the case to Justin to work out the details on that with me, right?
Another one in the dirt.
But seriously, we'd love to have you come down. Think about tomorrow, folks. What?
That's
Yeah,
low.
just missed. Not a bad pitch. Nice to see Willis come through. Just to pick up a run in this situation would be nice. Another one of his patented singles would be great.
He's got 3-0 count here. So he might get a pitch to hit. Although he may be taking. We'll see.
Yep.
Takes a stride.
That's all right.
3-1.
Gerald George was with 2 runners on base and the Light and Easy train coming by.
Yep.
And not much wind on the flags. Nice hitting count here.
Fouled away. That's going to force a full count now. 3-2, 2 outs.
Yeah, nice swing on that pitch. 3-1 count's a good hitter's count. Maybe not the ideal pitch he wanted, but also not a bad choice. Now it's about putting it in play. Or taking the walk.
Runner going. That's blooped into center, but it's going to be playable. Partington under it, and that's it for the Aces here in the top of the 5th inning. They get a man on base. Can't do anything with it. No runs, no hits. Adelaide still lead it 4-0. We'll be back right after this.
Hey.
Welcome back, and you are looking at history in one way or another. Genevieve Beacom, 17-year-old phenom, about to make her debut at this level. I'm Ed Wyatt, alongside Rob Novotny and Amy McCann, former superstar of the women's national team. Amy, what a moment.
I'm actually
You're speechless.
I am. I really am. It's in women's baseball. There's a lot of opportunities for women to make firsts, and this is just another one that Genevieve is making. And it seems like every time she walks out onto a field, she's doing something for the first time. And she said to me earlier, she really wants to be a ball player. She doesn't want to be. She's just so cool, calm, and collected, and she doesn't want the fuss. She just wants to be a ball player. And unfortunately, you know what? You are the first woman to play professional baseball in Australia in a men's league. So we're going to enjoy it for a while. And now it's up to her. But all of us in women's baseball have been watching her career since we started hearing reports of this tall 9-year-old striking out all the boys and under 12s and under 14s. We're like, ooh, what is that? And watched her grow over the last 8 years to this. And can't wait to see what she does tonight.
Well, it's a tall 17-year-old, and if you watch that warm-up, that motion is incredible. And as we discussed, she will not be thrown into the fire against some of these ABL veterans like Wingrove and Lott. She's going to face Griffin Weber, Brock Wells, and Max Stagg. Now, that's not disparaging against them, but this is an opportunity here. So here we go. First pitch, a little high. Might expect that.
Yeah. Well,
she had a little smile there, wry smile from her.
Could be a little bit of a Wild Thing tactic there.
Yeah, hit the mascot.
Keep them on their toes.
This is Griffin Weber, the designated hitter. Swing and a
nice
miss.
Hit. Good gas on that. And just to get back to what you said before, she's facing her peers, Ed.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why it's a great
That's
situation for her. Yeah.
That's exactly
Take
right.
a moment for the crowd just then.
Crowd went nuts.
That's awesome.
That's a grounder to third. George eats it up. Throw to first. One away. He keeps his foot on. No. Barry's foot not on the bag. That's a tough call. That is a tough call. He did have to stretch and reach. Barry thinks he made the play. We'll get a replay and have a look. Let's see.
Well, he had the angle there at first. You'd like
George
to think he
made
got that
the
right.
play.
So tough for us to tell.
We
And he's
can't, yeah,
and look,
you're right.
first base umpire Jeff Dunn is right on the play. He's a very good umpire. Got to assume that's correct.
I love Jen's reaction on that. She just walked around the mound, signaled to the shortstop, double plays on. Next batter.
So this is Brock Wells. A couple of strikeouts tonight. That's a good pitch.
Made a great point before, Amy.
Ball.
Nice roar to the crowd there, wasn't it?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're giving that an error, aren't we? An E5 on that throw, or E1? I don't know. I guess E3. That's inside. Ball 2. First pitch looked pretty good. I didn't get a great look at it, though. But 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on first. Tough one, too, because that runner should have been out. Strike 1. Good pitch.
You just look at the action, too, the ball out of her hand. She looks like she belongs. It's really that simple.
And it's an interesting question. I was asked Siren Sport, which is a women's sports website. Erin Delahunty's doing a feature on Genevieve. Just wait for this pitch.
Goes back to first.
And one of the things she asked me was, how do you think the men's players will take to being, I guess, a female on the mound? And I said, when you reach this level, you're selected on your merits. And she's done everything to earn and deserve this spot. So they'll treat her with that respect that she deserves.
Yeah, because they themselves know how hard it is to get here. This
Exactly
isn't just some jokers at club level taking the piss, as they say in Australia. These are professional players or aspiring professional players who respect the effort.
3-1 count now on Brock Wells. That's again to George. Double play is on. 1. Safe again at first. Poor Jack Berry over at first. But hey, that's what you want, that double play ball, right?
And she's busted him inside. And obviously Darryl, the great wall of Darryl over there at third base, is 2 ground balls to start it off. It's I'm pretty sure this third batter, every time she's facing a batter, the nerves. Look, I really question if she's got nerves. She's got to have some. I know she's
of course.
Cool. She's
yeah.
calm.
No, you're right.
There's got to be a couple of butterflies. I think I'm more nervous for her though.
So Max Stagg comes up now. He's 0 for 2 tonight. In fact, 0 for 5 in the series. Runner on first, 1 out. Oh, look at that.
Graham Lloyd was talking that pitch up a beauty last night. Loves it. In fact, Lloydie last night, I asked a lot of questions about Jen and asked, what do you think, how fast you can go? And he just goes, well, you know what, she's faster than I was at that age.
Yeah,
so,
how about that?
Yeah, look, he thinks she can go well faster than what she's going now, 83, 84, and it's so amazing.
That one's a little bit
it'd be
high,
nice.
1-1.
Be nice if our TrackMan was working at the ballpark for an occasion like this. I think they're doing some upgrades to it to help gauge the speed and gauge obviously location and other things.
That pitch there that you just saw on replay, that is a great pitch. I don't care who's throwing it.
But we
That
talked.
one just missed.
We talk a lot about the fact, 17 and throwing 84, but if you listen to Pete Moylan on the John Boy Media Farm to Fame the other day, he was just raving about her pitch sequencing and the presence on the mound and the different pitches. It's not just about that 84 mile an hour.
Yeah, as we're seeing with these breaking balls, she's pulling off and doing a nice job picking over to first as well.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we have discussed through this whole thing is that, a guy like Pete Moylan, Graham Lloyd, they're not making stories up. They know
No.
what they're talking about,
Exactly right.
Outside with that one.
Good velocity on it, though. Nice pop in the glove. She's every bit of that mid-80s, yes.
3-1 is the count to Max Stagg. Brock Wells on first. 1 out. That one misses outside. So walk. Stagg gets a walk. Runners on first and second.
And I think what's really impressive is her, I hope it's appropriate to say it this way, just her build, just her levers, her lankiness, the length of her arms, she's got long legs and long arms. That's why she's able to lever the ball and throw it so well.
Yeah, 6'1".
A young Graham Lloyd, not quite, but you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
in the Graham Lloyd theory.
This is Darcy Barry now. He's impressed me, this kid. Played pretty well at short. Single last night, single tonight, and scored a run. Stole a base. Almost stole a base last night. Here comes Graham Lloyd
Speaking
out.
of.
Probably just settled down a little bit, maybe. Just kind of, how you going?
Yeah, look, as I said before, as much as we think she's not nervous, you
You'd
have to be.
yeah.
And you want to be. You want to be nervous. I mean, from my first at-bat to my last at-bat playing for Australia, I was as nervous as any time. Nerves are great, but it's whether or not the nerves then turn into overthrowing or overstriding or just overthinking, to be honest. I think that's one of the things we always say to the pitchers, make sure they leave their brain in the dugout sometimes. But I think, as we said before, you can't find a better person to walk out on the mound. Probably just asked her what she's having for drink at the end of the non-alcoholic, of course.
Yes. So 2 balls, no strikes here, Barry. See if she can induce another ground ball here. Get out of this inning.
Nice pitch.
That's fouled out of play. That's good. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the order on deck, Jack Partington.
Fun fact, Genevieve Beacom actually goes to the same high school as Shea Lillywhite down in Somerville. So whatever's in the water at that high school, we need to bottle it and ship it around the country.
Maybe a 20-year member of our women's national team, Shea Lillywhite.
That's inside, just misses.
Yeah, not missing by much on a
No,
few of
really
these pitches,
wasn't.
is she?
3-1. So I don't want to load him up here, but
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a ground ball, wouldn't it?
yeah, sure would. See what you can do. There is that ground ball. It's a slow one. George is going to go to third, and that
No
probably
way.
is
Oh.
it. Makes a dangerous throw to first. Barry really saves a potential error there. Nice work by Jack Barry.
I think what we've seen there are those balls to Darryl George, and we know he's obviously a fantastic third baseman, but getting fisted inside there and then ball taking its time to travel has forced George to come up with those quicker throws. And obviously we thought that Barry had his foot on the bag in that first base, but there's some such great signs here from Jen.
Yeah, and even battling through a bit of a jam here, too, with that first break. Partington's got that out into right field. Should be playable. And it is. Bertucci makes the out, and Jen gets out of the inning. Impressive stuff. History made. Stick with us. This is exciting, folks. Back with more after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark, the Melbourne Challenge.
Hey, what was that we just experienced, Ed? Amy.
Ed White, Rob Novotny, Amy McCann just sort of shell-shocked after that appearance from 17-year-old Genevieve Beacom. Wow, something special. Gets out of the inning, a couple of bad breaks. She could have gone either way. She didn't. Threw some great pitches. Super impressive start. And the Aces now bring up George, Barry, and Perkins here, trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the sixth, so maybe get something going here.
Hey, if we score 5 runs, that puts Genevieve in line for the win.
Take it.
Yeah, so I would too.
Here's Daryl George, 1 for 2 tonight. Single and a ground out.
Oh, we got the batters who could do it.
Indeed.
You and I, Rob, were caught some of the BP earlier today with George and Barry hit a few. I think he was going for the light and easy trains. Just a little bit too early, but yeah, he looks in good touch.
That's lined right at the shortstop. How about that? Barely had to move, did Darcy Barry. Hard hit. 1 away. I like what I see from that kid, Barry. Hate to keep repeating myself, but looks good at the plate, looks good in the field, smart on the base paths.
Yeah. Great for our sport.
He's the one headed to Northern Iowa. So
yeah, well, it'll toughen him up too.
They're getting a good one.
Seth Wing is the coach there at Cornell College in Iowa. That's where I went to school. Very cold in the spring.
Here's Jack Barry. Having a tough night, not near his fault. Kind of the foot off the bag.
Yeah.
A couple of tough plays at first he's had to make, and he's made them well.
Yeah. Gutsy ball player, really. And
absolutely.
Getting back, just watching him yesterday, too, and that ball behind first in the puddles.
Yeah.
That was a nice play. Gutsy, a tough play, I should say.
One of those great aces for sure. First pitch is a strike from the youngster Jaden Bastow in the second inning of work here.
By the way, Darcy Berry going to Northern Iowa Community College. Shout out to them.
Yep.
Good kid you're getting. Just hope you told him how cold it gets.
That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
But these days with the climate change, it's not so bad.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jack Barry. That's lined to short. His namesake Barry can't make the play, and Jack Barry's on with a single.
Well struck ball. Nice effort at short by Darcy Barry. Could have very well come up with that with the right hop. Nice dive. You got to be in it to win it.
Indeed.
You got to commit yourself to have a chance at a great play.
There's Kyle Perkins now. 1 for 2 tonight. Strikeout and a single in the first inning. Time for the Aces to start a rally here. Just the 3rd hit of the night for the Aces.
And look, at the end of the day, we're facing their young pitcher now just like they're facing ours.
Yep.
But as we touched on last night, how amazing an opportunity is this? Like, they are going to be 3 games richer and more experienced. They're around people like Donald Lutz and Josh Spence and Moylan and Lloyd, and just having these opportunities in front of a crowd under lights is fantastic.
Yeah, I think the inner child in both of us is envious. Hey?
That's low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, my brain wants to be out there. My body doesn't let me.
Well, I have to acknowledge that now. I can't tell myself it's the lights anymore with the new LEDs. It must be me.
Swing and a miss. Big cut there from Perkins.
But we've had our moments, Amy. You at a higher level than me, of course, representing Australia and winning a silver medal at the World Championships or Women's World Cup. And those moments stay with you, and exciting to see the next generation getting theirs.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. So
right on it.
Bastow fights back. 2-2 is the count. 1 away, man up first. I don't see any Aces bullpen action, so
That's a good sign.
Perhaps Jen Beacom.
Yeah, we'll give her another inning. She got the
another
nerves out a bit, you know?
Yeah, I would hope so. 2-2 pitch. Slow ball. Fooled him. Good pitch. 2 down. Perkins goes down swinging for the second time tonight. And that's a total of 9 strikeouts. 10, actually, between the 2 pitchers.
You got it, man.
Wow. Well, Jared Cruz 0 for 2 tonight. Still looking for his first hit of the series.
You were talking about him at short earlier. And just kind of his rhythm, watching him also before the game take ground balls. He's kind of got the same step through the ball, same rhythm, but he picks it. He really has a good sense of what's happening within the play to pick up the pace of that to get the runner, get the throw there on time.
He's a good athlete. Plays a lot of positions. Has for the Aces, as we talked about over the years. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Played 6 different positions.
How old is he? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, pal. Sorry.
Not at all. Jared Cruz is 26. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
26. Not that old.
No. He looks younger, to be honest.
Breaking ball, fouled back. Strike 2. Aces trail 4-0. Bottom of the 6th. We are playing 9 tonight. We played 7 last night in a game shortened by a long rain delay. Aces won that 2-1, but they trail here 4-0.
Yeah, 2 outs, runner on first. And Cruz staying alive.
Fouled that one over towards the Adelaide dugout. Just those sounds of summer, the ball and organ. Just, just so happy to be able to call this one.
Yeah.
We weren't sure there was going to be any ball at all.
Yeah, we're hoping we get club ball back in the new year.
Fouled back again, off the net.
I'm sure we will, but we're living in uncertain times.
Just don't know.
Yeah.
Do you?
And if, by the way, if you're watching this, 20 years in the future, when there are lots of talented young women playing baseball at a high level, we're in the COVID years now, and it's not always easy at the moment. A few cancellations of players today who are having to sit out.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And again, fouled away. Cruz stays alive.
Yeah, it's really hard, and not to dwell on it long, but it's really hard to imagine the world we're living in compared to just a couple of years ago. Who'd have thunk it? I'm sure that's been said a few times, even on our broadcasts. But
well, the ABL did a great job last year of negotiating it, but it was just too difficult this year with all the rules and laws between the different states. 1-2 pitch again. Cruz swing and a miss. Basto gets out of the inning with 2 strikeouts.
That's 11 on the night.
How about that? We're going to head to the top of the 7th inning. Aces trailing the Adelaide Giants 4-0. Back after this.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Well, if there's one thing I know, it's fashion. And whether you're searching for locally made threads, European designer wares, or high street fashion, the city's most fashionable strips are all conveniently connected via grand historic arcades, laneways, and walkways. Melbourne, truly one of the world's great cities. Now we're back to live action. That is Angus Stalls. So Rob Novotny and Amy McCann. We've seen history made. We wanted it to continue for another inning, but one inning of work for Jen Beacom.
One inning, and I think it was the inning we all wanted to see, and I think she needs to be proud of what she achieved there, and it was fantastic. Obviously, got herself in a bit of a pickle in the middle, but she got out of it. She got those ground balls and a fly ball to end the inning, and you could see the smile all the way from up here. You could see the smile from ear to ear, and might have a bit of a sneaky chat to Pete at the end of the game, and I think the crowd's going to start rioting. They're not seeing it, but what's fantastic here is we're seeing 18-year-old Angus Stalls, who's from the Doncaster Baseball Club. So you're replacing a 17-year-old with an 18-year-old, both the development plays for Pete Moylan. So good signs for the Aces' future.
And he'll come in and face Rickson Wingrove, Mitch Edwards, and Donald Lutz, who did a bit of damage.
So we just had witnessed history. You know, it's sometimes that's overblown, but today it really was.
Yeah.
Or her story.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
You know, everybody wants to be part of history. Today we actually really were of something that I think will be remembered into the future. And I think it's an appropriate moment to thank, again, the City of Melbourne, the Victorian government, the ACES, the Giants, and everybody involved who were committed to putting this event together. Because without that, this doesn't happen.
Yep.
And we don't get to see Genevieve pitch. And there's a reason it happened in Melbourne, in no small part because of the government locally here in Victoria and Melbourne.
Yep, absolutely.
And
right.
it happened here in our town.
Pretty impressive stuff. And, you know, when you think back on it, probably that one inning probably makes a lot of sense, you know. Get that under a belt.
Adelaide's top of the lineup is now up, so it does make sense. I know the crowd, I've hardly seen it at such an animated apart from the championship game here. It was fantastic. But, look, that's not the last we've seen of Genevieve in an ACES uniform by no means.
Correct.
Yeah, and from a coaching point of view, get out of there in a positive experience. She got out of trouble, not of all her own fault, by the way.
No, that's right. Absolutely.
And, end on that positive note and build for the next time.
Full count here on Wingrove. Don't want to put him on. That got us into trouble. Aces into trouble last inning. And he did and struck him out. Nice work, Angus Stalls.
Yeah.
How about that? Comes Mitch Edwards now. Strikeout, single, a walk, stole a base and scored in the fifth.
How many strikeouts do we have as a team? Am I 7, if my count right?
Aces?
Yeah.
7.
Cool.
Kent 4, Young 2, and Stalls 1.
Yeah, we've struck out 11 times ourselves.
Outside.
Not by
ball
much.
2.
86 on the gun. Where was that?
Yeah, we needed that.
Yeah. Would have been nice to see what Genevieve was throwing.
We used to do that when the scouts were here. Nick Batters and I would get our binoculars and focus in on the scouts' radar guns.
Oh. I got my old Texas Rangers stalker.
Bring that out.
Yeah, it just needs new batteries. I got to find the old. I don't know if they make batteries. That's how long ago I was a scout. But anyway.
3-0 pitch coming in, fouled back, 3-1.
You know, back in the movie 20 years ago, you see all those guns and there's just a
Yeah.
row of them. Now it's these tiny little things that you can just put up there and nobody really notices. But in Texas, you always want it bigger in Texas,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So
3-1.
Oh.
Wow. Second walk in a row from Mitch Edwards. I'd like to see that one again.
Yeah. Guys?
Not going to get it. Here comes Donald Lutz, singled in a couple of runs in the fifth.
Yeah, that's the difference, that fifth inning at the moment.
Sure is. 4-0 lead for Adelaide Giants. That gets away from Perkins. And Mitch Edwards again, a walk, and then moves down to second. He's getting to be a thorn in the side of the Aces is Mitch Edwards. Takes the double play out of it as well. It's a good pitch, outside corner, strike one. 1-1. Lutz steps out. Just the gloves. It's back in. 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2.
Not an easy grab back there for Perkins, actually.
No.
Cross your body, way inside and a lefty.
A couple of fans working the phones.
Yeah.
Maybe
Hey,
telling
there's
their
free
friends
beer,
about
yeah.
Genevieve Beacom. Yeah, either that or
Yeah, come on down, get a free beer. Or soda, or water. But I think we're a bit late. I think if you've left it a bit late if you haven't gotten the road yet.
This is high and outside, so 3-1.
But yeah, a lot of people are going to go home and say, I saw something special tonight.
Big pitch coming up here, 3-1. Outside, I guess first base is empty, so. I thought that was 3-1. My apologies if it was 2-1 now. I think it's 3-1. I thought that was.
Yeah, that's what the board has too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had that as well, but maybe not.
Well then.
There seems to be some confusion there. Yeah, I was right. I should have backed myself. I was right initially. 2 straight walks as Lutz heads down first. And the runners on first and second.
And Sauls is looking around. When do I get the trip from Graham Lloyd? I just walked 2 guys. Don't I get some attention?
Wade McConnell steps in there now. I was pretty sure that was a 3-1 count. Good pitch, strike 1.
Well, the board had it. The TV had it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I had
You
it
had
in
it,
my
yeah.
head. Everyone had it except home plate umpire and Lutz.
Lutz wanted to hit.
Grounded to second. It's a slow roller. Probably a play at first. No, he goes to second. I was worried that he wasn't going to get there in time, but gets the runner at second. 1 out. 2 outs, excuse me. Edwards moves down to third. And McConnell is on with a fielder's choice. Griffin Weber now, designated hitter. That's hit to short. Going to be a tricky play here, but well played by the Aces, and they get out of the inning. Amy, we'll see you back here for the 9th.
We'll see you then.
Thank you. History
thank
made.
you. Thank you for being.
Go get yourself together. Compose yourself.
I'm going to fix up my
Send a
scorebook.
few
I didn't put
texts,
anything in there the whole
fix
time.
up your scorebook, and we'll see you in the 9th inning. Amy McCann will be back. And we will too after this short break.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back. Melbourne Ballpark. Aces need to get something going here, trailing 4-0.
See a fan there.
The 7th, yep.
See a fan there of the Palm Beach Baseball Club down in Chelsea Heights, Palm Beach area in the southeast suburbs. Nice little Division III club down there.
Good baseball down there. And now it looks like the Giants,
number 24,
have another pitcher coming out. Get a look at that. Luke Wilkins He's another 32-year-old, 11-year ABL veteran. Came to the Giants last year. He was Sydney before that. Played a lot of indie ball. Number of different places. So he'll step up here and try to get Bertucci, Graham, and Neve for the Melbourne Aces.
Yeah, we're running out of time here. Time to come back. Yeah,
Indeed.
9 outs to go. Well, we got Sweet Caroline. That's always nice. Getting the fans in the game. Let's see if we can give them a little bit of something to cheer about here. Going further to cheer about from a result.
Is that song played at more ballparks, more sporting events than any other song? I think it might be. It's played in England now. It's played everywhere.
And a relatively recent phenomenon. The Red Sox brought it out, didn't they?
They did. I think
about
they
15
did.
years ago?
Yeah. Sydney Swans do it. Premier League, you hear it.
Tough call in the corner there.
So Bertucci in here against Luke Wilkins. Inside. Great to have Amy McCann in here for Genevieve Beacom's debut.
Yeah, both expertise and perspective.
Oh, that hit him.
Oh, got him in the hand, too. Throwing hand.
Bertucci. This could be the start of a rally. It doesn't matter how you get on, Rob. It doesn't matter. Runner's a runner.
No.
You don't want to get hurt, obviously, but a runner's a runner. Marcus Graham now. Designated hitter, 0 for 2 tonight.
Just got to keep down 4 runs. You just got to keep the conga line going. Just get on base. We don't need a home run. We don't need a double. We need base runners. And we don't have to get them all in one swing or even in one inning.
That's right.
Just to come up with a crooked number. Come up with a couple runs here. Get us in the game.
Indeed.
Hey, and I see a couple guys with some popcorn coming up. You know, the lucky popcorn. Maybe this is the inning.
Yeah. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Outside corner. Caught looking.
Good pitch.
Very good pitch, Graham. Goes down, 1 away. Brings up Bronson Neve. He walked last time up. Advanced to second on a wild pitch, but didn't go anywhere after that. See if he can get something going here. Good pitch, drops right in. Wilkins, as I said, veteran. Nice to be able to bring him on here. 11-year ABL veteran on in the 8th inning or 7th inning.
Yeah.
You know, with some of these kids.
Yeah, they got the young Basto through, and
yeah, he did all right, actually.
Yeah, but they positioned him well, and now you know, as we get down to crunch time, you've got the veteran pitcher, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it's a great point. Ed Wyatt, Rob Novotny with you here, Melbourne Ballpark. This is game 2 of a 3-game series. That one misses 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, good spin on that, just didn't have a control on it.
Yep.
Imagine, yeah. Wouldn't want that over the plate. I don't know if it'd be hard to hit.
Ooh. Oh, that's fouled into the Aces dugout sharply.
Yeah.
Wow. That's one of those scary ones.
It's nice velocity in the fastball. I'd love to see that radar gun. Seemed like they were sitting up here in our section at some point as well.
Everyone seems to be okay down there in the dugout. Tomorrow's game, by the way, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time start. Weather meant to be good, by the way. Swing and a miss.
That would be noon if you're up in Brisbane, though.
Confusing, isn't it?
Yes, and what?
Half hour behind in Adelaide, right?
10 a.m. in Perth, and yeah, Adelaide's a half hour behind us.
Neve goes down. 2 strikeouts in a row for Luke Wilkins. That's a total now of 12 strikeouts. Is that right?
Oh, no, 13, I think.
Is it
2 this inning?
2 this
Yeah.
inning?
Yeah, I think it's 13.
Did Bastow have 3?
1.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 1
He
and
did.
then 2.
You're
Yep.
right. Wow.
It's tough. See, games like yesterday when there's not a lot of runs or hits or anything, it's really easy to keep all those numbers right to go in your head. But yeah, when you get a game like today, it all starts to add up, especially all these strikeouts.
13, you're right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So here's Sam Skinner, and speaking of strikeouts, he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
But battled well.
Indeed. Fouls that one back over the roof. No, it bounces right back.
Yeah. Oh. Gutsy player. I'm glad he's getting the chance. I think we said that a couple of times. I apologize, but
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
You know, just that's again, it gets to the heart of what the series is about.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. 3 straight strikeouts. For Luke Wilkins, Aces, no runs, no hits, did have a man on, but we're going to head to the top of the 8th. Aces still trail the Adelaide Giants 4-0. Back after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Well, not only are Melbourne's laneways home to restaurants and bars, also home of fashion, European designer wares, city's most fashionable strips located in historic arcades, laneways, and walkways, also places. Get yourself a haircut, get some outstanding coffee. You'll be pleasantly surprised by what you can discover in the city of Melbourne. You're also known for its sport, all kinds of sport, and tonight it's all about baseball as we head to the top of the 8th inning of the Melbourne Challenge, Game 2, and the Adelaide Giants lead the Melbourne Aces 4-0. This is Brock Wells at the plate.
And Angus Stahl's still on the mound.
He is.
Misses in. Like to see a quick inning here, get our offense back at it.
That's inside, ball 2.
Doesn't look like we have anybody in the bullpen either. This innings is Angus Stahl's.
Yep. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's in for a strike, 2-1. Good pitch. Wells, Stagg, and Barry. This inning for Adelaide. There's a shot of the Aces bullpen. Nobody working, just a bit of chatting. That's fouled out of play. 2-2 is the count.
Yeah, not ideal pitch there, but yeah, we'll take it. Got in his kitchen and made him attack it. 2-2 count. See if he can get by.
Just a little low. Full count, 3-2.
Look at how much fun you can have up on the party deck. Seeing good friends.
Good view of the game, too. Swing and a miss. Got him.
He needed that.
He sure did. Good pitch from Angus Stahls. Second strikeout of the night for him, and Max Stagg comes in.
Yeah, look, we're at the bottom of the order here. We need to make hay while we can and get some outs, get back in, start hitting again.
It's one of the things, a big theme that Nick Batters and I used to talk about watching the games the last couple of years. Don't let that bottom of the order beat you, right? The outs are there. Get the outs. You get in real trouble. You start putting on the 8 and the 9 hitter, and then you get up into the meat of the order.
Well, as we saw in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We let too many guys. Well, frankly, it all came after 2 outs, but nonetheless, yeah, we opened the door at the bottom of the lineup.
Stalls, the youngster, delivers at is a strike, went around.
On the swing.
You bet. 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Popcorn getting a big run tonight. That's lined into left field for a base hit. Max Stagg, first hit of the series.
Yeah, and nothing fancy. Put bat on ball, got a hit.
Yep.
Well struck.
So 1 out single for Max Stagg as Darcy Barry steps in. He's 1 for 3 tonight, 2 for 5 in the series. Stagg with a slight lead at first. That's hit to right field. That's going to be a tough play. Really tough play, and it drops in the warning track. Bertucci can't get there. Good throw into second. Is he off the bag? No, almost.
Boy, Bertucci's been throwing the ball well.
He's got a good arm out there. That was placed in a very difficult spot. As we did mention, that sort of wet field out there, right where we were doing some interviews before the game. It's pretty wet.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to cruise that fast. Let's watch a replay.
Watch how he catches it on one hop, turns and throws. Rights himself. Look at one hop. Rights himself, plants, throws, and almost gets the runner. Nice play from the 17-year-old.
Top of the order now, Partington. He's 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. Big opportunity here for the Giants to really stretch this thing out, leading 4-0. 1 out. Good pitch, just a little high.
Yeah, crunch time. If we're going to get back in this game, we got to get out of this inning. We also got to start putting bat on ball, to be honest. But yeah, it's an exhibition series with some young players. Let's not take it. Let's not.
That's in for a strike. 2-1.
Don't take us all too seriously. We're just over the moon to be having baseball and over the moon to see Genevieve tonight and the victories that we get to play and that these players get to play.
It's a slow grounder. Down third, foul. Just foul.
Gosh, Gerald George is smooth.
Sure is.
Catch and tag.
Been one of the great treats. You know, think of all the different things I've watched over the years watching the Aces. He's right up there with Delman Young, the Japanese guys we had a couple years ago. That was a highlight. For those guys were so good, Yuma Mune and that crew. But Darryl George is right up there. That's line foul.
Might have been a little off the plate there. Chasing a bit. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Two and 2 is the count. Runners on second and third. 1 out. Adelaide looking to add to that 4-0 lead. That one's popped right back out of play.
Yeah, just got him a little off balance there. Now he's got to put him away. You really need a strikeout here because any kind of an out is potentially a productive out, even a ground ball with the infield back.
True.
But we're trying to get out of the beginning, not give up 2 more with the infield back. Let's get the strikeout, though.
2-2 pitch. Lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit.
Just one
run in, just one. And that's 3 hits in a row for the Giants as Partington drives in Max Stagg. And now, guess what? Rickson Wingrove. Did strike out last time up.
Not who I'd want to be facing as a righty. But double play gets us out of it, and playing him to pull. Big shift is on again.
That's lined right at Barry. Makes the play, goes to second. They've got the double play. That's it. Pitcher's best friend to get out of that inning.
Hey, Barry's had a nice game over there.
He's been great. Adelaide adds another run, but it could have been far worse. 1 run on 3 hits. We'll be back after we watch this replay. Down the line, Barry makes the play, throws down to get the double play. Good stuff. Back with the bottom of the 8th after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Maybe allude to it.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Aces trailing the Adelaide Giants. Are still trying to get some confirmation on whether it is 5-0 or 6-0. We believe it is 6-0.
Reason being on that unorthodox, well, not unorthodox, but really nicely played double play by Barry. Went to first unassisted, then threw down to second for Cruz to make the tag. Unfortunately, at that moment, the force out is lost, and therefore it's a tag play, and the umpire waved up here. It appears to rule that the runner scored from third across the plate before the tag at second. Therefore, Darcy Barry would have scored as well.
Now, we should mention has not gone up on the scoreboard as such, so we're just going to have to wait and see. It still says 5-0. We'll just kind of run with that at the moment while we wait further confirmation as Aiden Willis now leads off the top of the 8th. Aces trailing.
Yeah, I'm virtually certain it's 6-0. The umpire waved. He pointed at the plate. He's done everything on his part down on the ground to tell us that that run scored.
That's a good breaking ball.
So we are in a by all indications, we are in a 6-0 ball game, and in a bit of a hole, unfortunately.
He wasn't waving up here to say that didn't count?
That's a good question.
Willis quickly behind here. There is the beautiful scoreboard here at Melbourne Ballpark. That's high for a ball.
It would be good to get clarification on that. It appears by all counts he was waving to get the attention, and then he pointed to home plate. Maybe we misinterpreted the signal, but it'd be good to get clarification.
That's grounded to second. Pretty soft, easy play for Wade McConnon, 1 away.
Now batting, third baseman, Melbourne Aces, Darryl Jones.
Just kind of looking over the scores. Haven't seen anything change over there. I think we'll roll with 5.
Yeah, fair
at
enough.
the moment until we hear anything else.
I was so confident early, but
you just never know.
Yeah.
It's a hard hit grounder down third baseline, foul. One away. Aces need some runs. Bottom of the 8th. They only get this inning and the next inning to get something done. That's hit deep into center field. Back goes Partington at the wall. Makes a great play. How about that? Jack Partington.
Another one of those young guys out of Adelaide.
Yeah,
wow.
youngster. Yeah, another Henley and Grange man.
Gosh, he tracked that ball. He didn't.
Wow.
He didn't miss a step. Great jump off the bat. Great drop step. Did not hesitate. And that's the only way he was going to catch that ball.
Look at this play. That's a Really nice job by the youngster in center field. How about that?
And you could tell he just bracing, didn't know how far he was up the warning track. He knew the fence was there close, but the ball was the most important thing, and he made the play.
Beautiful hit. You look at Darryl George there. He's like, ugh. Did he have to make that play?
Yeah.
Well, Jack Barry now made some good plays tonight. Should mention, after this inning, you're going to head down to the field, line up a couple of interviews. Hopefully
Yeah.
Jen Beacom. Who knows? You never know. At the end of a big loss, you never know who you're going to get.
Yeah.
But you'll do that. Amy McCann will slide in, and then Rob will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the finale of this exciting series. Could be for all the marbles tomorrow if Adelaide hold on here.
Yes. So what's the winner of the challenge? Get some nice coffees down the laneway in Melbourne, or
some new European threads,
yeah,
perhaps,
or go to the National Gallery, free admission on your next trip to Melbourne.
Barry fouls that one back.
I'm telling you, you go to the National Gallery, you get the art, and then you can go have a coffee or a beer or a wine
So
in the
much
back
you can
garden
do.
in the summertime. It is
Yeah.
just pure magic, and then you're right there in the middle of Melbourne at the same time.
Absolutely. 2 balls and a strike on Jack Barry. Wilkins has been pretty sharp since he's come on, but as we discussed, 32-year-old, 10-year ABL veteran. It's kind of what you expect, particularly against some of these kids, not Barry and George, obviously, but some of the other kids stepping up for the first time. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Barry lines that sharply. There's Barry. He throws across. Does he get him? He's got him.
Yeah.
What a play, Darcy Barry.
Yeah.
Told you I like this kid. What a play.
Yeah, and
Gets
Jeff
Jack Barry at first.
And Jeff Dunn at first, the first base umpire, he's on the call, an excellent umpire. And, yeah, our Barry deserved the hit, but at the end of the day, their Barry made a fantastic play.
We'll go to the top of the 9th. Adelaide still winning. It has now been corrected to 6-0 on the scoreboard. We'll settle that when we come back. Rob, see you tomorrow. We'll also see you for the interviews after the game. Good to see you, man.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Ed Wyatt joined by Amy McCann. Rob Novotny is going to head down for some post-game interviews. ACES Trail, it has now been updated, as Rob pointed out correctly. No force on that double play, so the Aces did give up a 6th run. It's been corrected on the scoreboard, so Aces Trail now 6-0 as we head to the top of the 9th.
Yes, as we were just saying before, it's a very good-looking ballpark scoreboard there, just except for the box score line there for the Melbourne Aces. We could just change that around.
Yeah, that could be a little nicer for Aces fans.
It's looking pretty nice here at Altona.
Mitch Edwards, Donald Lutz, Wade McConnon here in the top of the 9th inning. And we've still got Angus Stalls on, who's actually been reasonably impressive, Amy. For a young man.
As I said, 18-year-old
Yeah.
coming up through the ranks at the Doncaster Baseball Club. He's obviously, we saw yesterday, Daniel McGrath, who's a Doncaster born and bred, and also Louis Thorpe. If that's balls in the dirt there. Obviously, Louis Thorpe hit the majors last year for the Twins. So Thorpe and obviously play at the Doncaster Baseball Club myself, but Thorpe and McGrath's jerseys are on the walls. Maybe that's every time he goes in there, puts his cleats on, gets some inspiration.
That one's hit up the middle. Dive by Skinner. Can't get there. Edwards on for the fourth time tonight. 2 hits and 2 walks. Big night from Mitch Edwards. Is it Doncaster Club that one that's in that beautiful spot down when you come down that?
Yeah, Warrandyte Road.
Yeah, it's magnificent.
Yeah, we've got the old log cabin, which we're actually just Manningham Council and done some great work with the Victorian government. We've got a brand new clubhouse coming. It's an absolute picture perfect postcard of the ground.
So beautiful. I've never seen a game there, but when I've driven to Warrandyte, I've seen that there. Beautiful part of Victoria, Melbourne area. If you haven't been there, that is a magnificent ballpark.
No word of a lie. In my time, we've stopped training for kangaroos running across, and we've actually had wombats walking behind us in the outfield too.
Fantastic. Here's Donald Lutz. Drove in a couple of runs in that big 5th inning for Adelaide where they got 4 runs. Dangerous hitter. Big veteran. He's actually on loan from Brisbane. Funny how that sort of COVID has forced that loan situation here. It's great to see from a competitive standpoint, but kind of strange to see him down in Adelaide jersey.
But it's been touched on a number of times. I mean, he's got a couple of years big league experience with Cincinnati, and he's got all those teenagers over in there. I mean, if I was one of them, I'd be neck on his left hip the whole time, just soaking everything in.
Yep. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Stalls there. Yeah, there is something about that sort of veteran with the young kids. And there is a shot of that scoreboard that Amy was talking about.
They can just freeze it now. Just hold it there.
Beautiful facility here. They really turned this around, as we've talked many times. That's a great pitch. Got him looking. 1 away. That is strikeout number 3 for Angus Stalls. Brings up Wade McConnon. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Doubled in the second. It's a bit of a lineup change for Adelaide. It's paid off tonight.
We'll set up for a big tiebreaker tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Well, that's the only bonus you can take away from this if you're just a neutral watching this, is you're going to get a good one tomorrow. 1 o'clock is the first pitch tomorrow. Oh, that's a tough one into right center. It's going to drop. Bertucci's there. He's got the good arm, so Edwards will hold at second.
He's been swinging a hot bat tonight, Wade. Obviously got that double in his first at bat, and then it was an absolute scorching line drive in the second. So it's a nice pickup for Adelaide there.
Yep. So 2 men on, 1 out. Brings up Griffin Weber, the DH. It's had a tough night. 0 for 4, strikeout. Chance to do something here. Add to that lead, 6-0. Adelaide have looked pretty sharp tonight. Tim Atherton really started it with that pitching display. Ooh, that's inside. Atherton, 8 strikeouts.
As we saw last night with Kennedy, obviously both starts. It's just they look from pitch 1, they look like they're in command, and their team really rode that.
Makes a huge difference. No doubt about it. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Stalls. Like what I see from him, he's given up a few hits, but 3 strikeouts. Pretty competitive. Just missed.
Despite the scoreline, and the crowd still looking really, really strong. As we said, we sold more tickets today. Justin Huber was very, very happy. Field of Dreams car park queue coming in. First pitch. It was great to see.
Without the cornfield, of course. But you're absolutely right. There's another walk as Weber heads down to first. And we've got runners on. We actually got bases loaded. A little confused there.
I think some of the base runners
they were.
confused.
I looked down and saw 2 men on, and I looked at my score sheet and said bases are loaded. So indeed they are. Bases loaded. Brock Wells steps in. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So let's see what Stalls can do here. There's a ground. There's a ready-made double play ball. Short to second, over to first, not in time. Great stop there by Barry. There's a little bit of a bobble, rough exchange there, wasn't there?
Yeah, if you look at the replay here, I think there was a little bit of a... Did it come back on him and did it get caught in the glove? He just couldn't quite get it out for that underhand flip, and that's all it takes. You need that first out to get that second out, obviously, and could speed up the line there from Wells.
Here we go. We'll get a look at that replay now. Slow roller. Yeah, a little bit of trouble Cruz getting that, didn't he?
Yeah, and just had that longer flip, and that's all it takes, unfortunately.
That does mean another run comes in, so Adelaide now was 7 on the board as Max Stagg now steps in. Ooh, fouled that.
It's got a great baseball card name, Max Stagg.
I was going to say that earlier. It's a great baseball name. I agree. The only better one might be Johnny Field. Remember that guy that played at Brisbane? Love that name, Johnny Field. So runners at the corners. 2 outs. But 7 zip in favor of the Adelaide Giants. That's hit to left field. Should be playable by Neve. He's under it. And he makes the out. And that's the final out. Again, there's some confusion. I think some of the younger players maybe aren't sure about it. That was the final out of the inning. Adelaide get another run. They lead at 7-0. Last chance for the Aces. They're going to have to come up big here in the bottom of the 9th if they want to make anything happen here. We'll be back right after this.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. That is Tom Fitzgerald, 6'6". Pitched at California Monterey College for a while. Has been around with the Giants. Can really throw. I think there might have been some consistency issues, but we'll see. Good time to put him on. Leading with a 7-0 lead. Look at the Giants dugout there. They're pretty happy, as you would be, leading 7-0 here, heading into the bottom of the 9th. Ed Wyatt, alongside me, Amy McCann, former Australian Baseball Player of the Year, 2012. You were the Player of the Year.
2006, actually.
Oh,
I think you took a few years off me
Sorry.
then. I'm not going to complain. I shouldn't have said anything.
Sorry, I got my stats wrong. 2006, Player of the Year with us tonight. And we did see a bit of history with Jen Beacom, and we're hoping to get an interview with her after the game. We've sent Rob Novotny down there. We got our best man on it to try and grab her for an interview. So hopefully we'll do that. Would love to see her tomorrow as well, because we only got one inning. It was an interesting inning. Would love to see her pitch a little bit more. Kyle Perkins, Jared Cruz, Nick Bertucci scheduled to hit here as Fitzgerald. Big, lanky. Got the high socks, short pants, long hair. Can definitely throw some smoke.
Think of that height at 6'6" too. It feels like he's throwing not 60 feet 6 inches. He feels like he's throwing at about under 16s distances.
Yeah. Big, lanky right-hander. 2 quick strikes. and then comes and tries with a breaking ball that doesn't break. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looks like we may see a pinch hitter after this for Jared Cruz. That comes right back. That would have been right in your hands. You were ready for it.
I was.
Didn't even blink either until your next player. Most of the people up here in the booth go like that. They think it's coming at him. You didn't even blink for a second.
I was still marveling at that catch by Jack Partington to end the.
Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, I show my bias as a centre fielder, but that was that's to me that's been underlined and highlighted. That's been the fielding play of the 2 games so far, without a doubt. From a teenager or a younger player, obviously playing here with that warning track. We know it's probably a little bit wet out there.
Yep.
Darryl George put a lot on that ball. Great play.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's another breaking ball that doesn't even get close to breaking. So he's gone away from that fastball. Tried a couple breaking balls that haven't worked. See what he does here now. Yeah, one of the great things is seeing these young kids like that make those plays. Really something special. Aiden Willis last night goes back to the fastball and gets him. 1 away. And now it looks like we do have a pinch hitter. Number 6. I don't have a 6 on the roster. Is that Kynan Molander possibly?
Yeah, that's actually good. One of the late inclusions in here, coming in for Bertucci.
It is indeed Kynan Molander.
Bertucci with a couple of really great plays, showing off his arm out in right field today.
So Molander steps in. Oh, and he gets hit by a pitch. I did say Fitzgerald. I did say he had some control issues. There we go. Let's put him on. So now.
I think they had a bit of sting in it, but he hasn't even.
So Molander pinch hit for Cruz. And now we'll get Bertucci, who you mentioned.
Oh, sorry, I was one ahead.
That's all right. Playing some good stuff in the outfield. Let's see if he can keep this rally going. As Molander hit by a pitch. Tucci sort of fist that one down the right field line.
Sorry, my scorebook went out the window when Jen was on.
It's
I dropped it. I
do.
didn't fill it in that whole inning, and
it's hard to do.
Half an inning behind now. Be better.
Runner on first, 1 out. Fastball. Let's be honest. It looked like you should just throw fastballs, Fitzgerald. Not mess around. So now you got a 7-0 lead. Bottom of the 9th. Your fastball's working. Quit messing around with the slow stuff. What did I say? Down goes Bertucci. That's 2 strikeouts for Fitzgerald here in this inning. And Marcus Graham will be the final ace of the night, unless he can keep something
Hopefully
going.
not.
Yeah. He struggled a bit tonight. Amy, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. 0 for 5 across the series. 0 for 6, excuse me. Nice to see him get some bat on ball here.
Nice spot in that first pitch fastball from Fitzgerald.
That one's a bit high, 1-1. Game 3 of the series tomorrow, 1 p.m. We'll be back. Rob, Amy, and myself to wrap this thing up. Some entertaining games. Even despite this scoreline, been a very entertaining game.
Yeah, we've seen some youngsters put their hand up.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really good. 2 great pitching performances so far. We'll see Genevieve's appearance, and yeah, there's been some really good things.
It's a great point. Seen a lot tonight in a game that you look at on the scoreline and go blowout, but which it sort of has been, but there has been a lot to like about a lot of things tonight.
And full credit to Adelaide. For those 4 runs in the 5th inning, we're all 2 out. Obviously, Jeremy Young missed on that 1 pitch through there, and then they got another one through up the middle as well that scored all 4 2 out.
That's fouled back, so we're going to have a full count here on Marcus Graham.
It's one thing they say, never give up the crooked inning. Stay away from the beginning, and
yep,
it's what Melbourne have unfortunately not been able to do today.
Yeah, indeed. That 5th really did him in. And then Adelaide adding 3 more. Runner going. on the full count, 2 outs, and it's a walk. Graham is going to get on. So Graham to first, Molander to second. Bronson Neve now steps in. He's also looking for his first hit of the series. He's been on, walked in the 5th.
He has a batting tunnel in his backyard built by his dad, Ben.
Right?
So, yeah, up at Green Hills, Montmorency Way.
That's another nice little park, by the way. I've been by that one. Nice little stadium. That's in for a strike. Fitzgerald delivers. That's lined into right field for a base hit. Bronson Neve. The base is loaded. Big hit for him. May not have an impact on the game, but for him personally, that's great stuff.
That's fantastic. See, great piece of hitting. Waits on the outside, takes it to right field. Moorlander held up at third base there. I think there was, you want to see a run, but we don't want to be ending the game on an out at the plate.
Yep, absolutely right. So Sam Skinner now comes in, and he's another youngster that hasn't had a hit yet. Got on with a walk, so this might be an opportunity here for him. That's high and inside, ball 1.
And it's a great situation for these younger kids to be hitting as well. There's no pressure on Sam right now, and he's just seen Bronson come up with that hit. So there's no wind in his shoulders right now. He'd probably be as relaxed as he has been all night.
Lines that one hard down the left field line, but foul. It's a really good point. Down 7-0, no real expectations.
Full credit to the crowd that's stuck around, 7-0 down, coming up to 10 o'clock.
Outside corner, tough call, that one. Looked a little outside, but caught the corner according to the umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just get the lineup moving back up to the top again. We've got Willis, and we know how Willie hit last night. Never say never.
Good eye. That was close. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. More nerve than I had. Wow. Here we go. Let's see if he can do something here. Keeps it in play. Possibility here. Play from third over to first. Safe. Gets on base. Lutz couldn't keep his foot on the bag. The Aces get a run. Skinner gets on. How about that?
Oh, I was giving my best safe signal from up here, and then those wheels up the line there from Skinner. As we said, he puts the ball into play, forces that tough throw, but the wheels up the line, and now baseball.
Yeah,
funny game.
7-1.
Back to the top of the lineup with Willis. Obviously hasn't had the same stick he had last night, but
let's keep the kids going here.
Got a good feeling
keep
about
it
this.
going. Get Daryl George up. Get Jack Barry up. Here's another replay of that one, I think. No, we're going live. My apologies. That's a breaking ball that misses. I wanted to see another replay. Willis 0 for 4 tonight after going 2 for 3 last night, so maybe he's due. Grounder, going to be a tough play at second, but nice work over there by Wade McConnell to end the game. Aces with a bit of a rally. They get 1 run on a couple of hits, but this is going to be a 7-1 win, apologies, for the Adelaide Giants, and a nice comeback from them to force a deciding game tomorrow, 1 p.m. in this Melbourne Challenge, which is fantastic. Look at the Adelaide Giants enjoying the win. There's Fitzgerald, finish things off, and a good win, good comeback from Adelaide. Now we're waiting for our man Rob Novotny down in the field, hopefully with Genevieve Beacom, and Rob will do that interview. We'll see how we go.
What a
down on the
day.
field.
Let's first talk it from a baseball point of view.
Celebrations.
As a player,
Now, here's
what
Rob.
was the situation feel like out on the mound? Talk us through that inning that you threw a little bit. What was the experience like?
When I got out there, I just wanted to shut down the runs. They had some momentum, and like my goal was to just stop the run scoring. So yeah, it was good.
Of course, you're out there pitching against your peers, so this is a real opportunity to step up to the next level as a player. How did it feel in your life to be able to step out there and all these guys you've been training with and working with in the under-18 national program? How did it feel to go head-to-head with them in a professional baseball uniform?
It was really good to see them out there, and it's good to compete against them and get that kind of experience as well. Not only the under-18 players, but just everyone on the team.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, as we all travel through our lives as ball players, we don't just get there alone through our hard work and our dedication, which clearly you have, but there have probably been a lot of coaches or people in your family who've made a difference in your life to help you get to this place. Would you like to thank some of them or talk about some of who those people are?
Definitely, like all of my coaches have helped me reach some kind of level and push me to be a better player, but my brother's definitely been there since day one, since I started playing baseball. He's been my biggest inspiration, as he always played, and he's the reason I got into it. So definitely him, and just Pete for giving me this opportunity, and Shanna's, just every coach I've ever had, I could thank them. It's just amazing.
You've done a great job, and I think everybody here in Melbourne is just so proud of what you've done, because it shows what a great opportunity baseball can be for anybody who has the ability and puts their effort to it. And there are a lot of young girls out there, as we think about the last 20, 25 years of the women's national program, there are a lot of young, and that's the span of your lifetime. There are a lot of young girls coming up in the span of your lifetime now who may also have further opportunity based on some of the ground that you're breaking for them. Do you have any message for any of those young girls out there, either here in Melbourne or around the world?
Definitely, like if anyone tries to push you to do something you don't want to do, push you to softball or play a sport that you should be playing, don't listen. Do what you want to do, and just know that if you work hard enough, you can definitely make it somewhere. It's not impossible. You can see, like, it can be done. So
congratulations on a very special day of baseball. I'm sure you'll remember it for the rest of your life, and I'm sure you'll take this opportunity and not just progress a long way, but I can see you making an impact on others for many years to come as well. Congratulations, Genevieve.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob Novotny with Genevieve Beacom. Ed White and Amy McCann still with you, and geez, what a composed young woman, and we know what her talent is like. This is I hate to keep sounding like we're going on and on, but this is a special night.
Well, you can see her smile is ear to ear, and so it should be. We talk about that inning. We have to remember what she just produced in men's league, and we're just going to throw back to the field. We've got Graham Lloyd.
And Graham, we just wanted to speak to you. Obviously, quite an accomplishment you've had in baseball through the years, and a big part of Australian baseball, and now you're part of this moment. Can you give us some context or perspective?
It was a wonderful moment. Genevieve showed that she went out there and did a great job. It was wonderful to watch. She's got a great motion. She throws the ball very well. And she looked like some of the boys were saying, wow, she looks like she belongs out here. And, for that to be said in this sort of caliber of baseball it's pretty special. So it was wonderful to see her out there.
Yeah. I'm sure you won't soon forget it, will you?
No, definitely not. No, it was very, very cool moment.
Yeah. Fantastic, Graham. Thanks for taking a moment, and thanks for all the support for Genevieve and for the ACES.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, there you go, Amy. When you get someone, as we alluded to earlier, of Graham Lloyd's stature, a couple of World Series rings and everything he's done around baseball, saying those type of things, again, that's a lot of superlatives about a 17-year-old woman throwing the baseball.
Yeah, and I think the word to me that stands out the most there is belongs. She belonged out there today. She belonged. She had the presence. She had the stuff. As we said, we have to remember she gave, it was a scoreless inning. A couple of close pays, ground balls, one fly ball to the outfield. That is, for a 17-year-old to do that at this level, she belongs. She and the look on her face there. We've just seen Josh Spence, who's pitched in the majors, give her a massive hug at home plate just then. You've got people like Moilo and Lloydie giving her the raps. And we see here for the replays, like the crowd.
It's a very powerful word, belongs.
Yep. And I think for women's baseballers, she's taken a different pathway, a really different trajectory. Like someone like myself, I started out. I played in boys' leagues, men's. I was the only woman in my entire league. There was no women's leagues when I was her age. When I was 17, the Australian women's baseball team didn't exist till I was 22.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So she's come through. She's only played boys. And she's put a name down. Samantha Hamilton, who's just been announced as the head coach of the Victorian team, has seen her name on the trials list for the Victorian team, and her mouth is watering.
I was going to say.
If we can get Genevieve on that state
Holy
team,
moly.
I mean, she's doing great things. And look, she's got the talent to mix it with the men. We would love to have her in the women's. But look, I'm telling you now, this is. I know I'm proud to have done a lot in women's baseball, but this, I'm telling you, is one at the top of my list.
Yeah,
so proud.
It's a remarkable thing, really fascinating. Genevieve Beacom, she may get to play tomorrow. We're not sure. We have no inside information. We don't know. We'd love to see it. That game is tomorrow night at 1 p.m. right here. Amy McCann with me. Very, very happy to have you along because you can put a perspective on this.
Thank you for having me.
And bring some stuff to it. And we will see you tomorrow. We'll also see Rob Novotny. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Melbourne Aces go down 7-1 to the Adelaide Giants in Game 2 of the Melbourne Challenge. Thank you to everybody that made this possible. Obviously, the Aces will be back wanting to get something over the Giants tomorrow in the final game. But we've seen two good ones, expecting a good one tomorrow. My name is Ed Wyatt. Thank you very much. We will see you tomorrow afternoon for Game 3. That's line into left field for a base hit. One run is in. Look at that speed on Partington. He easily crosses the base, and Rickson Wingrove has delivered and given the Adelaide Giants a 2-0 lead. Here we go. That's hit into right field. That's going to score one, and they're bringing him around. Here comes the throw. Not going to be in time anyway. And Lutz delivers with a 2-run single. Just what we feared.
They could be twins, Lutz and Wingrove, and they both deliver. Hit the mascot,
This is Griffin Weber, the designated hitter. Swing and a
nice
miss.
Hit. Good gas on that. And just to get back to what you said before.
Strike one. Good pitch.
You just look at the action, too, the ball out of her hand. She looks like she belongs.
Strike one. Good pitch.
You just look at the action, too, the ball out of her hand. She looks like she belongs.
One out. Oh, look at that.
Right go, though.
2-2 pitch. Lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit.
Just one
run in. Just one. And that's 3 hits in a row for the Giants as Partington drives in Max Stagg. That's lined right at Barry. Makes the play, goes to second. They've got the double play. That's it. Pitcher's best friend to get out of that inning.
Hey, Barry's had a nice game over there.
He's been great. Adelaide adds another run, but it could have been far worse. Really get this inning and the next inning to get something done. That's hit deep into center field. Back goes Partington at the wall. Makes a great play. How about that? Jack, 3 strikeouts. So let's see what Stalls can do here. There's a ground. There's a ready-made double play ball. Short to second, over to first. Not in time. Great stop there by Barry. There's a little bit of a bobble, rough exchange there, wasn't there?
Yeah, if you look at the replay here, I think there was a little bit of a... Did it come back on him?